Check out our products, our 5-star reviews, and our local team. Then set up your free quote. That's GEAUX Tommys.com for Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
Go Tommy's.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Tex Morris. In Laplace, call Robert Hemel. And in Baton Rouge, call Will Neighbors.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, July 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 86. In hour one of today's show, we'll preview the big recruiting weekend coming up for the LSU Tigers, and we'll talk some NFL training camp headlines as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. OTB, another day. Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Hope you're having a great day. T-Bob, Alondra, Taylor, and Jake hanging out with you today. I got a lot to get to, as Taylor just laid out. Excited for the return of Nick Underhill now, as I read an excellent piece from Matthew Power on The Advocate today, stating that Dennis Allen is cool now. And you can trust it because it comes from Tyrann Mathieu himself. Actually, so the piece is really good. It starts with kind of highlighting that quote, which is deeply, deeply funny to me. A lot of stepdad trying to get accepted by his new family energy there. But then it gets into an interesting kind of thought, not thought experiment, just an interesting kind of conversation about, he was hired, citing continuity, but now slowly but surely over 3 years, he's kind of had to completely remake it and break from continuity, and we'll see if it pays dividends or not. We'll get into all this and more. It's going to be a fun show, youtube.com/1045ESPN. If you want to get involved, hit the like button, share with your friends. Jake, what's up, man? How is sunny Florida? Oh, wait, hold on. We for some reason, Jake is muted there, Tay-Tay. It could be in his side, could be on our side. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, I think it was on my side because
go.
I was so shocked that you started talking about Derek Carr yesterday and Dennis Allen today.
Yeah, well, that is a local NFL franchise. So
Yeah, right. But you've been trying to sell me on both of them now to start the show.
I ain't trying to sell you on Dennis Allen. I am merely reporting what Tyrann Mathieu said, which is, again, quote, you could tell guys in the room, they're like, DA is cool now. Okay? So, I mean, you take it up with Tyrann. Take it up with one of the best LSU football players of all time, not me.
Who did also tell us, I guess it would have been Roman Harper at Media Days. That was his position coach when he was with the Saints.
Yeah,
he also
guy.
spoke very nicely of Dennis Allen.
Now, granted, he did, acknowledge the differences that when you're a position coach and a head coach, those are two vastly different things in terms of maybe how cool you can be, and who knows how your personality changes when you become a head coach, right? All that additional pressure, all those people relying on you, like that causes some to tighten up and kind of lose their way. It's a lot easier to be the cool, to go back to the stepdad analogy, right? Like, it's a lot easier to be the cool uncle than it is to be the cool stepdad, where you maybe do have to do things like discipline and hold to a standard, but you do also want to be accepted. Alondra, what's going on? How are we doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I have a couple days. I'm off Friday.
Nice.
So
Well
today's
earned.
my Wednesday.
Okay, well
I'm
earned.
excited.
Senioritis creeping in already. If we're
Yes.
counting down like that, proud of
For
you.
real. I want to see Morgan Wallen.
You know what?
Nice.
That sounds very fun. If for people that are into Morgan Wallen, that sounds awesome. I know.
It's a great show.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. Taylor, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Doing good. Excited for Alondra
Doing
to
well.
go to Arlington. She said she's bringing me back a Cowboys jersey from the Superstore in there. So,
Oh, nice. That's so
we're going to
thoughtful,
go. Super
Alondra.
nice
I never
gesture by
said that.
Alondra.
It's really nice. Those are pretty expensive as well.
They
I'm
are.
not.
I know.
What jersey are you gonna get him?
I'm not getting him one.
Micah Parsons? You
He's
probably
making-
already
I
have a
Micah
Parsons
Parsons.
jersey.
A CD Lamb one would be nice.
Why? They're not gonna be able
If
to
I
keep
get
all
him
those
one,
guys anyway.
I'm getting
We're
him a
keeping
Zeke
ZD.
one.
Right? Isn't that the whole news cycle right now? The Kiss Cowboys season's going to be a waste. They can't keep everybody. You know what blew my mind? And I'm jumping way ahead in the doc for today's show. But whatever. None of you listen to all 3 hours anyway, except for some of you in chat. Y'all the real ones. Love y'all. Jordan Love is going to become the NFL's highest paid player ever. He started 18 games.
Yeah.
He's not practicing until he gets a new contract. And they're saying he is going to barely edge out Trevor Lawrence's $55 million a year that he just signed, which already felt kind of crazy for Lawrence. But, like, I guess we got a whole season of good from Lawrence, a playoff win. From Love, you got, like, a really great 8 games to end the year. Did they get a playoff win?
They
Yeah, they got
The
one,
Cowboys,
didn't they?
right? Okay, yeah, thought so. I guess that's what it gets you. You beat the Cowboys, even though in the playoffs it's not that hard, and you get that's crazy. The largest contract in NFL history. It shows you it just shows you how wonky the quarterback market is. Like, as much as you may not like Derek Carr, not like this or that, like, it's just, if you're in that position and you even have a pulse, the path to getting paid, you have so much leverage against ownership. You know what I'm going to be fascinated to see? The relationship between Packers fans and Jordan Love change. Because up to this point, he's represented the kind of new, nice boyfriend who, after the old one that they loved, kind of went toxic and weird on them. It's been all roses, and he's been, not hurting the salary cap or anything. The expectation out of Jordan Love when he gets his contract is going to be the best in the NFL. And while he may end up being great and maybe even attains that, it just seems like such an incredibly high bar from a guy who we have only seen do it in a very small sample size.
You're right about having a pulse in that position. If you've got one and you can throw a couple touchdowns, they're going to give you all the monies. And there's probably, if we put a number on 15 that we could have a real conversation about needing to get paid and to be valued, but there's 25 getting paid because of what we're just talking about here. Like, Trevor Lawrence isn't the best quarterback. He's not even a top 10 quarterback right now. Not right now. Has he been at times? Yeah, not right now. In the totality of his career, he's not a top 10 quarterback, but he is the highest paid player in NFL history. That's just what it is. And, Love had a lot of success, like you said, down the stretch. He won a playoff game. They've only had great quarterbacks the last 30 years in Green Bay. Yeah, they're going to pay Jordan Love, and the next one's going to be surprising. It's just going to be a continuous cycle. Imagine the year where all of these quarterbacks that just got selected in the first round come up, right? 3 years from now, let's say half of them work out. They're all going to reset the market. There's going to be 3 deals that are the biggest deal ever coming up in 3 years.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Between Lawrence and Love, it kind of shows you have one great year, win one playoff game, and you get to be the highest paid player in NFL history. That'll be two times in a row there. Massive recruiting weekend coming up here at LSU. The Bayou Splash. We'll get into that. We'll get into that next segment. But to go back to the Saints and Dennis Allen real quick, tell me again, when I talk about exuding stepdad energy, tell me if you think this is cool or not. Does this sound like the key to becoming a winning team? So Dennis Allen, to kind of loosen people up a little bit, start each day with competition. Their 3 core values are being tough, smart, and competitive. Well, in an effort to chase all that, guess what? They've been having a little fun comp to start each day, a little offense versus defense. They had a Family Feud franchise competition. We're answering questions about the franchise history. A little water balloon toss, go-karts, home run derby, Louisiana-themed spelling contest, 3-point shootouts at the Pelicans facilities. They watch members of the equipment staff run through an obstacle course. Guys, sounds like Saints training camp's a pretty fun place to be.
Yeah, I hope
Nobody
so.
wants to do the water balloon fight? What does a water balloon fight look like?
All of that sounds great. It really does. You need things during training camp to break it up. I mean, you went through a training camp. It's brutal. They're terrible. They're not fun, and certainly down in Louisiana, they're not cool. Like as far as the temperature. Right?
Well, remember they're now in at least for now they gone soft. They're out there in
Irvine. Right?
Irvine, yeah, they're out there where the out there Cali way. Cool stepdad, though. Again, this is all like the stepdad that you got off to a rough start with.
Yeah.
And he's clearly making an effort. Is he nerdy?
It does go a long way.
Is he nerdy?
It goes a very long way.
Yes. Is he cheesy? Yes. Is he a bit out of touch? Absolutely. But he's making an effort. And he's sincere. And you know what? I'm not going to call him dad, but I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to give him a chance to maybe fill part of that. Maybe I'll listen to him next time he tells me to clean my room. Maybe if he's going to extend a hand, I might as well extend mine back a bit.
Sure. Again, bones during training camp when a coach throws you one, they go a very, very long way. We once talked Norv into taking us to a water park.
Hell yeah.
They closed down the entire water park, and they took us to the water park for a full morning session of old school two-a-days. It was glorious. Now, we love Norv. He didn't have to do it for, our acceptance, but it was like a nice bone. He's like, all right, now tonight and tomorrow morning, y'all going to practice hard. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, you just shut down a water park for us.
Isn't it kind of funny? And I know these are young men, but they are men, but it is kind of funny, the Neverland aspect of the NFL at times where, I mean, for any other grouping of adult males that age, it sounds a bit absurd. Okay, guys, now listen up. We're going to go to the water park this morning, but you have to promise me you're going to work very hard tonight, okay?
Yeah.
And tomorrow morning. I don't want anybody to be tired tomorrow. You better be out there working hard and ready to go. Like, yeah, that's what I bribe my children with. I'm like, you want ice cream for Chick-fil-A? Okay, well, you better get up and buckle in right now. Listen up, okay? There's a real Neverland element to playing in the NFL. And I've heard that from longtime NFL players where it's like, yeah, you're just in a very youthful kind of exuberant environment where you don't really have to grow up.
Wholeheartedly. Like even your older 35, 36, 37-year-old teammates. I mean, we had Dave Ben, who was like 40 at the time. He had dated Pam Anderson a couple years before that, right? He was as cool could be. He still got excited about the water park.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you know how it is. You're in training camp, man, and you don't get to see your family for 5-6 weeks, and you're just on that grind. It's like, no, man, you give me something like that. And we used to chant water park all the time, never thinking Norv would actually, give into it, but he did. And like, that's like a core memory. So yeah, we're big children at heart, even if you are like 35 to 40.
What's the, go around the room, guys. What's the best part about a water park? Favorite ride, favorite element, feeling. What's the best part?
The best part about a water park, you don't have to get off the ride to go to the bathroom. Everybody knows that.
It's actually a really good point.
Everybody knows that. I mean,
let's be honest, dude. You're just accepting that you're swimming around in a pretty heavy dose of human piss, right?
Look, you know when you get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like you go to a pool party. There's a lot of drinking going on. I haven't seen a lot of people get out of the pool.
But nobody's got to go.
I wonder how that is. I guess somebody's just holding it in, huh? Okay, yeah. Nah, you just accept it, dude. I crossed that bridge a long time ago at college pool parties and learned to just give myself over to it. Chlorine's a hell of a drug. Alondra, what about you?
What if it's a saltwater pool?
I don't know. Gives you beach vibes. Feels great. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Tastes good. Alondra, what about you? Favorite part of a water park?
The fact that you can have fun at an amusement park and not be super hot because you're cooling off.
Very true.
In the water.
Very true.
Also, the lazy river is always.
Now you're talking my language.
Like just laying there in the lazy river.
My family used to always clown me because as a chubby little kid going to the water park with him, I would just disappear with my book, hop on a tube in the lazy river, and just be kicking it for hours. They'd be doing slides, and my little pasty overshirt wearing butt would be chilling, reading Wheel of Time, floating around. Jake, what's your favorite part about a water park?
The fastest, most steep whatever slide that they have, like just the tallest one, and just racing down that thing. I don't want a slide with a tube either. I can accept a mat, but I don't want a tube because I want it to go as fast as possible.
Did y'all ever? Did you ever? Like just the did you ever have a friend that would just lie to you growing up, and you would kind of believe him? He was maybe like a good storyteller, but he would always.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And now as an adult, you're like
immediately have the guy in my head. Right
yeah.
now.
Okay. Exactly. Right. Like now it's like, well, as an adult, I know this is clearly a lie. Well, one of my favorite stories, that kid for me said, like the straight down slides where you kind of come off the slide a little bit and then you go back onto it. He said that he swung out so hard that he separated from the slide, did a front flip, and then landed back in it. And when I tell you, I fully believed it. I didn't doubt it for a second. I was amazed. I was like, bro, you could have died. What? What? Are you crazy? Like, hey, I guess I am.
How do you know it didn't happen?
Again, I would say, as an adult, I feel like it's pretty clear that the physics of that don't exactly line up, but
also, like, if he's allowed back at the water park, probably didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly right. I do agree that would most likely get you banned.
Well, someone got decapitated like that.
This sounds like an urban myth.
It's for
Anytime
real.
I've ever heard theme park and decapitated in the same sentence, these are the things whispered on the corners of playgrounds during hot summers growing up. Give me a story, Link. What happened?
Okay, I'll find it. But it was a kid, and it was like that. He was on a water slide that he popped up a little from, and I think there's a fence or something, right? There's like a fence, and it decapitated him.
So you'll recognize the ride. It's the one at Schlitterbahn Master Blaster. It's like the water coaster.
Snap.
It's like that. It's
Schlitterbahn decapitated a kid.
It's not there. They have a ride just like it, and it's like this water coaster, and the kid was too small to be riding it, and like they went over this little hill. He came up, and it had like a roof over it, and a bar hit him. No, that actually happened.
Yeah, and
I cannot fathom a more horrific thing in my entire life.
It was back in 2016.
To have a child pass on a water slide.
Can you imagine working there?
Oh my God. So this is a real story.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where it happened.
So
and
way
it
to
was
go.
at Schlitterbahn.
Way to go, Alondra, doing your best Tay-Tay impression.
Yeah,
we didn't
my
have to
bad.
wait till the NFL story of the day to just engage with some real deep tragedy and grief.
It was at Schlitterbahn.
Hello,
but in
darkness,
Kansas.
my old friend.
It was at Schlitterbahn,
Kansas.
and they're still operating.
Yeah.
Today I found out there was more than one Schlitterbahn.
Yeah, I
No,
know
there's
that
multiple.
either.
There's
yeah,
one.
I always thought it was only in Texas. I had
Well,
no
there's
idea.
two in Texas.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, there's one in South Padre.
Has anybody ever ridden a water slide that does the loop-de-loop, like a loop?
Yeah, Blue Bayou has one.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered how that is. I need to go to Blue Bayou. I mean, I've been saying it all summer. Maybe this is the weekend, actually. This might be the weekend. We'll see. I think my family's leaving town this weekend. Would it be weird for me to go to Blue Bayou alone?
It would be weird for any of us to go. It would not be weird for you to go.
Just a little solo dolo in my Scandi shorts. In my little Scandi shorts, floating in the wave pool.
Now it's
Maybe
probably
don't
weird,
wear the
yeah.
Scandi shorts around kids.
No, I'm going to if I'm going to the water park. Got to show off these thighs.
Weird.
I'll also wear sunscreen though, which I don't know. We'll get into it later, but Jake is out here just straight up raw dogging the Florida beach sun. And it does beg the question, where does the raw dogging end? People are raw dogging flights. People are raw dogging each other. Jake's out here raw dogging the sun. I saw one video of a guy yesterday who was just sweaty and exhausted, and he's leaving Disney, and he said he just raw dogged Disney. No loved ones, no phone, no rides, no food. He just walked around Disney for hours.
See, I would think raw dog in Disney would be like, you can wait in line, but you can't look at your phone or anything.
Yeah.
You didn't even wait in line.
Wait, you can wait in line, but you can't ride the rides. You have to wait in line up to the front, and then you leave. You can't talk to anybody
to pass the time. But like, he didn't get on anything.
No. Where does it end? Also, Jake, I think yours is the most unhealthy of any of those. I don't think you should be raw dogging the Florida sun. That's just me. Not for extended amounts of time. 1 hour, sure. 2, How many hours were you out yesterday?
Probably close to 3.
That's not bad.
Okay, it's not as bad as I would have thought. It's not like a full 5 to 8 hour day, but still.
Yeah. Because we had to go to the arcade. It's part of the process when we get here.
We're going to figure out if you're really a Sunset Acre Indian after all. By the end of this trip, we're going to see how you're going to respond.
I was in the water the entire time. It was like as clear as I've ever seen it. So I was in the water the entire time.
No fear of sharks? A lot of shark attacks lately.
No. I mean, the water is incredibly clear. I feel like we could see it from a little bit away, and we didn't get too far out there.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, man, I'm with you. I'm like scared of sharks in theory, but I love the ocean. And so every time I go, I just, of course, I'm going to be in the water constantly. All right. Well, good luck with the sun and the sharks today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking of water parks, let's talk about a little Bayou Splash coming up in Baton Rouge this weekend.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
That's the name of the LSU recruiting event, by the way, guys. I don't want to say it's a perfect segue, but I will say likely the only thing that would come close to matching it would be the quality of the work that Pinnacle Exterior Construction does. Where I don't care what you need. You want an outdoor pool, outdoor living area, fences, any size or type of fence, bulkheads, pergolas. You want to put a little turf in your backyard. You want a completely custom pool. You want a spec pool. The bottom line, any of your outdoor construction dreams, they got your back, man. And again, go to the website, pecbuilt.com, because as much as I can sit here and blabber and tell you about the quality of the work, I really think the gallery online is just going to blow you away, man. The artistry, if you're watching online right now, is so clearly on display. And let's say maybe you already have a pool. You don't feel like doing the maintenance because I know how incredibly tough it is. Well, guess what? It's just a one-time deal to get you ready for the summer or year-round. They got the plans for you. PECbuilt.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The Saints report for training camp out in Irvine, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting recap. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, yo? Welcome back. OTB. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. You want to get involved? You get to go to the chat there, and yeah, your takes in there. All right, let's go ahead and get into this weekend. So, as I said, LSU with a massive recruiting event going down this weekend. It is Brian Kelly's annual Bayou Splash going down this Friday as this LSU team continues to try to make a push for the #1 class. There will be multiple 5-stars, or they're going to push to host multiple 5-stars this weekend. A couple of the 2026 variety as well. But the headliner for this weekend has to be Jonah Williams. Remember, we talked about Jonah a little bit last week. This is the #1 safety in the nation. He's from Galveston. He's 6'3 1/4, 206. Great body, right? He's critically a baseball player as well, which you're going to continue to see be a theme in this recruiting, and maybe who has the edge. Right now, Oregon's in the mix, A&M's in the mix, USC is in the mix, Texas is in the mix, and LSU. For what it's worth, I don't see a ton of momentum with USC from everything that I've read. At different times, he's maybe been projected to the Ducks or A&M. Texas has not been a large player up to this point, but with the hiring of Jim Schlossnagle, Texas may be back in the fold. And you know what? A&M, frankly, probably gets dinged a little bit for the coaching change. Although I don't know. It seems like A&M players love early. But then maybe LSU with Jay Johnson actually represents the best baseball and football combination of the two. And to be fair, Jay Johnson and Brian Kelly teamed up to roll out the red carpet for him last time he came in town. So really, right now, according to all of the experts, I would say it's kind of A&M, LSU, and Oregon that seem to be the top 3 right now, but there's just not a lot known here about where Williams is actually leaning. He has not set a commitment date. This could play out all the way up to signing day potentially. Who knows? I do know this. You're going to get immediately judged against the Longhorns this weekend, Jake, as on Thursday, now that this recruiting dead period is over, on Thursday, he's going to go to the barbecue and pool party in Austin. And then on Friday, he's heading over for the Bayou Splash, which is that a pool party as well?
I was about to ask, with a name like Splash, where are you going?
Is this
what's on the list of events? Like if you're coming to an official visit at LSU now,
Dennis Allen's out there like, hey guys, I got a giant slip and slide. We just used it at camp a couple days ago. Y'all want it? I look, I mean, to be fair, I do love a giant slip and slide, and that would be a lot of fun to play on Dennis Allen. So I agree.
Do you think this is like straight like baller style? Like, are we going back like old school recruiting? Are they just hiring like sexy people in bathing suits, like just abs of like every variety, just everywhere? I mean, I wonder why else would you be throwing a pool? I mean, you're going to beat the Heat, I suppose. I cannot fathom in a day and age where the Texas football facility, is it Lamborghinis or Ferraris that line the building?
Either way, I don't know.
So the point is, I can't fathom what a recruiting event looks like nowadays. I mean, we helped out an official last year, and already the production of it was borderline insane, and that's not like a named event, like the Spyou Splash or the barbecue and pool party. I just wonder what goes on. But either way, a massive weekend for LSU. Jonah Williams, the headliner. You're also going to have a lot of your current commits on there. Harlan Berry, JT Lindsey, Tyler Miller, that's great interior offensive lineman. It's Devin Harper, Damian Shanklin, the recent edge commit, Zion Williams, Charles Ross, DJ Pickett, going to be back here on campus this time for the first time as a commit, maybe trying to talk to Jonah Williams. And look, I thought this was pretty key, man. Keelan Moses back on campus as well, returning to the fold after, kind of seeing what's out there and visiting some other schools through this process.
Was Pickett the number one corner like in most places, right?
I believe he is number one and on 3, the number 3 player overall. I believe he is the number 2 in the industry rankings, which are your composites. And
he was one. I'm saying he was one in overall. One service for sure.
Yeah, and on 3, he's the number 1 corner. Yes. And
just imagine if you can get the number 1 corner and the number 1 safety to commit to you, knowing how bad you've been at those 2 positions over the last couple of years. And if you really want to start DBU back and you brought the Godfather back to coach him, that's a hell of a start, getting the number 1 and number 2, number 1 at corner, number 1 at safety. So the 2 number 1 rated defensive backs.
And I agree. Is Jake Olson the safeties coach now? Am I crazy to make that up? Right? Yes, I believe so. Correct. So it would be a big win for him as well. As you said, Corey, really all these wins too are just a testament to kind of what we talked about. I believe it was maybe yesterday, just the organizational competence of the Kelly process and era. It's so wild to think about the fact that when he first got this job, the big question mark was on recruiting. And now you look at the success that you've had, not just here in state, but putting together now in year number 3, where you're supposed to be hitting a stride, a class that so far exceeds anything that you had before. I mean, look, you have the number 1 interior offensive lineman right now, according to some services, the number 1 running back, number 1 quarterback. You had the number 1 wide receiver. You have, and you could almost add the number 1 safety. That makes it's insane. Now, I said number 1 interior offensive lineman according to some services because I think the consensus number 1 is a guy, Solomon Thomas, who's an FSU commit, but LSU continues to try and flip him. They are pursuing getting him on campus this weekend. He may have a conflict at home, according to the reporting that I was reading, so we will see on that. Also, 5-star wide receiver Jamie French with 2 Fs. How about that? It's French, but it's F-F-R-E-N-C-H. Why? I have no idea. But Jamie French.
It's like, do you overemphasize one or the other?
French. Jamie French says that he is leaning LSU over the Miami trip that he was planning to do this weekend. So we'll see if he ends up at the Bayou Splash. You got a top 300 safety, and Anquan Fagan's going to be in town as well. And then, as I said, a bunch of the 2026 5-stars headlined by, is Jakeem Stewart the number 1 player in the nation right now? Taylor, right, for 2026, defensive lineman from Louisiana. It would be it'd be a huge talent acquisition, but just symbolic victory. LSU has to throw everything they can into getting Jakeem Stewart. He will be on campus as well. So a massive weekend of recruiting coming up in the boot.
It is like this class is already, like, if you stopped right now and it was over, like, it still would be impressive. But some of the names that you just listed off there that are not committed and visiting, it has a chance to be an all-timer. And we talked about it yesterday. It didn't set you up for a year. I mean, it sets you up for a couple of years, even with the transfer portal. it still sets you up for a couple of years because, like, even if let's say half of them didn't finish at LSU, you still would have guys that are impactful for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is how you well, we'll see. We'll see. Combined with, if Brian Kelly wins 10 games again this year, when was the last time? We looked this up. When was the last time LSU won 10 games in a row? Over a decade ago, right?
Yeah.
It would have been 10, 11, 12.
I believe so, yeah.
If Brian Kelly wins 10 games again this year, then you are achieving a level of consistency that, quite frankly, just haven't seen very often. And if you're going to continue that consistency into this new hyper-competitive SEC, the best way to do so is by getting the best players. And again, like we said yesterday, a top 5 class is an A+ in my book, no matter what. So, big recruiting weekend. We'll keep you up to date with everything. Shout out on 3. I'm not, I pay for the subscription, not anything like that. I just enjoy their work and use a lot of their reporting and all of this. So I don't have to keep up with it. It's great. All right. When we get back, more Off the Bench coming up. Major Burns, maybe a little underrated. We'll get into it next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Also, we got some Joey Burrow news coming up for you. Go to Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com, CommunitySteelCo.com. You go there today for all your steel needs, man. You need metal buildings, roofing, sheet metal, trim, accessories, any purlin, tubing, anything you need. It's all manufactured right there on site in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can go on the website and you can check it out for yourself. You can just go see them in Gonzales. You can touch the product, feel the product, see it. A live and local sales team, right, that's there for you. You form relationships with them. So whether it's like personal steel needs or business steel needs, the bottom line are they know your needs, and so they can better serve them. You're not just a number on the spreadsheet that nobody cares about like you are with these national companies. You're not being taken advantage of like you are by these national companies from a pricing standpoint. They've actually been taking a lot of people off because their prices. You know how they're not taking off? Their customers. Go to Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
performing is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong. Gulf
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers, Glen West talking Tigers, and Sharif Ishak as Saints Camp fires up. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
By the way, look for it later today at some point, but Snaps. We have officially got our streaming capability set up. Aaron Murray played a game against Brooks Austin yesterday. I don't know what the final score is. The one time I tuned in, I saw Murray throw in a pick 6. So I don't know. We'll see. YouTube.com/snapcfp_. Jake, we mentioned Major Burns going into the break there. And I think it was a surprise for many people to find Major Burns on the All-SEC list. Now, I should say this. When the media is voting on preseason teams, it is not always it's not always the most well-researched thing, right? And I am putting myself in the fore here. We know a lot, but nobody can know everything. And at a certain point, name recognition does come into play. So when you're Major Burns, you're entering your 18th year of college football. You have played over 1,600 snaps since 2020. You've had some really big moments, right? Think about last year against Mizzou, a massive win in which Major Burns made some huge plays, and he's had those littered throughout his career. What I'm getting at is, like, this is not to say that this is 100%, oh my God, he's going to be, just because the media said it, he's going to be all SEC. Like, you can end up on an all SEC media team and maybe not be as good as the other guys on the list, but you have more name recognition. But I really enjoyed a piece by Will Rosenblatt on LSU Tiger Wire, which is the USA Today LSU subsect, where he compared Major Burns to Dalen Carnell, who played the star position last year for Mizzou. And you can see why Major Burns is maybe going to be better suited now to be in a position that's natural to him than what he has been. Last year, he played almost exclusively free safety. He does not have the body for free safety. He doesn't have the coverage skills for free safety. He had 369 snaps there. Carnell from Mizzou, free safety just 45 plays. Spent the majority of his time in the box, in the slot, being aggressive. And to be fair, in his career, Major Burns has played all over. He's done the box, he's done the slot, so he could do it. In coverage last year, Carnell was in man-to-man 35% of the time, Burns just 22%. Now, Kelly did praise him during the spring for improving, so he'll have to keep that up to honor that. But how about this? Carnell blitzed 10.5% of the time, Burns just 4%, which was, according to Will Rosenblatt, among the lowest safety blitz rates in the SEC. So, look, I guess this is all painting a picture where here you have a veteran who is not going to be 6 years of college football. You're not going to hit him with anything that's going to ruffle his feathers. He's got a body type that is much more suited to this star position in Blake Baker's defense than it was previously. And according to the head coach, he's improved in the weakest part of his game quite significantly in coverage. Like I feel like Major Burns could be potentially maybe outside of like Harold Perkins, if that all goes according to plan, potentially the biggest winner of this defensive coaching makeover.
Is he going to wear the neck roll? still? Do we know that?
I would hope so. I don't think you get closer to the box and lose a neck roll. Doesn't make any sense, right? Like, if you're going to rock the neck roll at free safety, you have to bring it down into that hybrid linebacker safety position.
Yeah, I think he's like the only one. What's the company? Is it like McDavid or something that makes the cowboy collar that he wears?
That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, something like that. They're like, oh, we still have an order. There's still one, which I can appreciate. But all jokes aside, he is like all the things that you said. There's a couple of things that I think we all know that he's got to get a little bit better at. Controlling his emotions are one of those things as well. It's not just physical, right? The mental aspect of it as well. He is going to be counted on as a leader of this defense, and your responsibilities are changing now. Like, you have to be aware of that. Like, you have to kind of change your mentality a little bit. I would love to see him blitz off the edge a little bit more, because I do think that he is a physical player. Now, he's not the biggest player as far as his frame, but he's not scared. There's no, tiptoeing in there for Major Burns. And so coming off the edge, blitzing off the edge does feel like something we heard that we were going to see a lot of last year, but we never did.
And so, again, like I said, almost never last season. Doesn't really have, I think, the makeup of a free safety. Does seem to be well suited in that hybrid role. Seemed to emerge in the spring. These are all kind of tantalizing pieces of evidence that on their own don't amount to much, but when you put them all together, maybe he does honor that all SEC Media Day selection. Only time will tell, and we are about, I'm guessing around like 45, 46, 47 days away now at this point. So getting very, very close. All right.
I figured Taylor would know the exact amount of days we are away.
I think it's 40.
Okay, 40 days now? Sure. Oh, wow. Let's go, nice. Dude. When we get back, shout out Mike Allstott. Joe Burrow news and a little bit of Pelicans droppings as well. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, go check out All-Star, man. It doesn't matter what type of car. Maybe you want like a luxury sedan. Maybe you want a luxury SUV. Maybe you want a minivan. Maybe you want a big old truck like a Tundra. Smaller truck like a Tacoma, a Highlander, like there's everything there at All-Star. You can customize it to whatever you want. We got great summer deals going down. You can explore at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com as well. And remember, when you buy these new ones, explore the hybrid options. The Sienna hybrid that I have, the gas mileage you get is actually insane, dude. 30 plus miles to the gallon, saving so much money, especially when you're on a road trip. The gas just, like, the gauge just doesn't go down when you're in that eco zone, and you don't have to charge it, right? That's really the way to be the future. Ain't full EV, it's hybrid, and it's Toyota. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150, $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150, and all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than...
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The Saints report for training camp out in Irvine, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting recap. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, yeah. Come on now, Bob. You can turn it down a little bit, but leave it playing in the background a little bit. Guys, good news. Bengals fans may feel like they're a little bit on edge, but Joe Burrow, good to go for training camp. Oh, you turn it up now? So he had surgery on his wrist November 27th. And if he can stay healthy during camp, it's kind of crazy. I didn't quite realize this. He has never had a healthy camp. Remember, of course, rookie year, he tears up his knee in week 11. So that carries over into camp. And training camp season 2, he had appendicitis, which caused him to miss all of camp, just about as random as you can get. Remember in 23, on the second day of camp, he strained a calf muscle, which ended up carrying over into the season and hurting him. And so, Jake, my question to you, if you are the Bengals and Joe Burrow is fully cleared, 100% good to go for training camp, how do you approach how you use him over the next month?
I think that you use practice time, not game time, because training camp's important. Yeah. And even though it's been scaled back, I think it is so important to callous your body and your mind for the rest of the season. And if you don't have it, I can't imagine going into a season and not having a full training camp. Like I couldn't have done it like that. I needed it as a player. And so for Joe to do what he's done, really missing that much of camp time, it's impressive. But I don't need to see Joe Burrow in the preseason. That's not what I need to see.
Yeah.
But if it's 9-on-7, if it's team, if it's 7-on-7, if it's blitz period, whatever it is, I want him in there with the ones, creating that chemistry that, look, he already has, but you know how it is. Like, you have to kind of hit restart a little bit every training camp. So for me, I am uber careful with him in the preseason games, but I treat this practice time valuable because we've never had this. Like, it's got to be something of value to us because we've never really had this with Joe. And so, like, I would not hold back in the practice portion because he's not going to take a hit. Like, if you touch Joe Burrow, like, you're going to be done in Bengals camp. But, like, just, like, mentally for him to go through all of this and go through what it is, you know, for a full training camp, I think that pays off, immediately for the Bengals game number 1 because they haven't had it with their guy.
I think that's very well said, Jake. I genuinely did not know how to answer that question. I think that was very insightful and spot on. Now, he may want a drive or two in these preseason games. I know Breeze talked about that in the past. He always liked to get like a little bit of game action so the season wasn't your first game action. But yeah, full go for practice there. Sticking with the Bengals and LSU for a second, guys, I'm getting some major Brandon Ingram energy out of this quote from the Bengals front office about Jamar Chase, right, who obviously is going to want to be paid pretty soon, saying, quote, yeah, and they're talking about like the Justin Jefferson contract. Yeah, we're aware of the numbers. We were aware of what other players have, and we were also aware of what we feel is right, what we can do with our team, and what makes sense for us going forward. And so we talk about that, and we talk to Chase's people about that, and we'll see if something can get done, and we hope it can. That does not sound
Bengals.
like Jamar Chase is going to be a Bengal, which seems
Bengals,
really
don't
dumb.
screw this up.
Really dumb.
They're notorious for doing this. Like, they paid Joe, but like that was even a shock.
Yeah.
Just pay Jamar Chase. Your quarterback and him, they've got something. Don't piss your quarterback off. The best quarterback you've ever had in your franchise history. Sorry, Boomer Esiason. Sorry, Andy Dalton. Even my guy Carson Palmer. It's Joe. Make him happy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the Bengals end up doing. All right, look, coming up, hour number 2, we're going to expand that Dennis Allen story into the changes that have actually been made versus the theory behind why he was originally hired. Hey, more OTB coming up next. That's rude.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Don't be rude just because we're not talking about Jim Harbaugh. Actually, that is kind of exciting. I was going to say, what's his name? But he's not there anymore. Brandon Staley. Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com. For all your AC, heat, and electrical needs, you want to go to Accutemp and take control of your comfort zone today. There's a reason why they say service to the highest degree and why it's written all over their building and all of their signage. And that is because it is their guiding light. It's how they have such incredibly high customer reviews when you look online, because everything that they do is in service of you and your experience and making sure that it goes according to plan. You can get year-round Star Club memberships where they stay on top of everything for you. Make sure you avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. And if you want a whole home generator for storm season, have them at your home for a free professional estimate. Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, July 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 86. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk about the New Orleans Saints and whether or not Dennis Allen might be cool now. Also, we'll talk some OTB mailbag at 8:15. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Hour number 2 of OTB here this Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day. Have y'all seen this video of the cockatoo going from a baby to an adult? How freakish the cockatoo looks when it's born. Little pink mewling ball of flesh.
Well,
alien
birds
looking.
usually look kind of weird when they're.
They look like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Because they are
exactly.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
How about that? Maybe we'll get to the cockatoo video a bit later.
Hey, T-Bob, I do have something while I'm thinking about it that impressed me yesterday, and I feel like it will impress you as well. So we were talking about Will Campbell's video, which was, I mean, like the coolest thing that I'd seen. I mean, winking as he squats, was it 660 pounds? I believe was the number,
like
right?
616, but I could be wrong. Somewhere,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
over 600 pounds.
Yeah. So how about this? I get a text from our former teammate Sean Jordan.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, that was really impressive, but let's not forget, I bench pressed more than that at LSU."
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
He said that, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're right. You bench pressed over 600 pounds."
Can't really
at
wrap your head
LSU.
around that one. Also, shout out Sean Jordan, 40 days away from football.
There we go.
We said, like we pointed out the other day. In fact, LSU in NCAA 08, where Jake was a 91, also had a fullback in Sean Jordan who was a 90. Might be the only the last team in modern football to have 2 fullbacks on the roster rated
2 in the
rated
top
90
10
or
on the
above.
game. How about that?
Yeah.
That's straight Coach Miles offense right there.
Hey man, power ain't gonna block itself, bro.
And you could have had Quinn Johnson on there as well. You could have had
That's
3
true.
of us.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how long did Quinn end up playing in the league for?
God, I think he played like 8 years in the NFL, if I'm not
Unreal.
mistaken.
Superman, dude. Taylor, no, I'll revisit that later. Actually, that joke, the timing for that joke is past, but I got one coming for you later. All right. So you did say something interesting during the break, though, Tay-Tay, and it was that Dennis Allen. You say it again. Give it to me.
Oh, it's the age-old quote. Dennis Allen's not the stepdad, T-Bob. He's the dad that stepped up.
It's true. It's true.
Mm.
Because you know who left you? You know who went to buy
Peyton.
milk and never came back? Sean Payton. And then he ends up with his new hot young blonde girlfriend skiing in Vail. Okay? Sean, I thought you were tired. More like tired of us. Okay? And when we were at our lowest moment, as Tay-Tay said, Dennis Allen stepped up. Now,
the angle that Matthew, and if you don't understand the stepfather stuff that we're getting to, guys, if you missed the beginning of the show, you can rewind. But basically, all it is Dennis Allen is giving off some real stepdad energy this camp. He's trying to kind of rework his image with the players. They've had they're starting each day with like fun competitions between the offense and defense. They had Family Feud. They had a water balloon toss, go-karts, home run derby, spelling contest, Louisiana themed, which I guarantee do we think
spell Natchitoches?
I can't spell Natchitoches. I can't do it.
Natchitoches.
That sounds correct. Yes, absolutely. It sounds
Thank
like
you.
Natchitoches to me. I think I could spell Chapatoulas maybe. TCHOUPITOULIS. LAS. Oh, I had it till the very end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Then you hear that buzzer, and then I start crying because I'm a poor Indian child who has just studied for 365 days a year for 5 years now, and it all because I did an I instead of an A. Anyway.
All right. Taylor, we don't care that you can spell Walker. It's not impressive to us, okay?
Hey, not everybody out there can spell Walker.
Yeah,
so
not Walker.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
That's true.
But yeah, look, Dennis Allen's basically like the dad who, for sure, first you weren't sure about him, but he's making a sincere effort. As Tyrann Mathieu says, quote, you can tell the guys in the room, they're like, DA is cool now, okay? That's up there with the Jeff Levy quote, state is swag, state is cool, and some of the most deeply funny and seemingly unsincere quotes I've ever read. But anyway, the point of this is Dennis Allen stepped up at a time when Sean Payton left you. And it's funny because the whole idea behind hiring Allen was continuity, right? Remember, I think he kept like 18 of the 21 staff members. I read in Power's piece in The Advocate earlier. But what was the biggest change from year one to year two under Dennis Allen? He completely remade the defensive staff, and it paid great dividends. I mean, you're already pretty good. You were 9th in scoring. You went up to 6th in scoring. Like, the defense was objectively better in every facet last year. So the defensive changes, rebuilding the defense in something more in his image, breaking from the past, it worked. The Derek Carr thing, another break from the past, kind of his guy, did not work as well as you would have wanted. Right now, not worked. Has a chance to work, right? But I guess my point is, like, it's hard to run an organization as large, as important as an NFL franchise when your kind of original premise for being hired is, hey, you have to be this guy. Like, it's hard to run it if you have to do your best Sean Payton impression. Well, now you look up, job on the line, and he's kind of broken away completely from that. The defensive staff makeover worked perfectly. If the offensive staff makeover works to the extent that the defensive one did, the Saints will win the NFC South. I'm not saying it will for sure. The O-line has so many questions. But again, this will be the first time as a New Orleans Saints here, and you will see a new offensive scheme in 6,573 days when they kick it off on September 8th. So, if nothing else, you know what? I'm not going to call you dad, but I'm going to give you a chance here, okay? I'm going to give you a chance here. You're kind of making the home your own a little bit. I know your rules a little bit more now. And at least you're making the effort. You're there for me. You know who's not? My dad. He's in Denver with Bo Nix. Bo Nix sucks anyway, Peyton.
Didn't they make a whole Netflix movie about Sean Payton not kind of being there?
Yeah, actually, yes. They literally did.
Yes, they did. So Pete Carmichael not being there, like, that's the most important part. Like, the defensive staff changes. It worked, but you were already good there. You were horrid on offense last year.
Yeah.
You weren't good, and it hadn't worked really in some time. Like, even some of the last days of Sean Payton, it wasn't the explosive offenses that you see across the NFL. So now you make those changes. Now you go get one of the coaching trees that everybody in the NFL wants to be a part of. They want to touch. They want to have their own piece of it, okay? So that's what you have. And it's going to look completely different because in that, when you take over like that and you hire from within, there is like a really fine line of how many people do I keep? How much do I keep it the same? How much do I make this my own? Because you can go too far the other way. You can like clean house, and it's like, well, wait a minute. We hired you because of the continuity, because we felt like you could take what we had in place and you could continue it on down the road. But there's also like, there needs to be some change. Personally, I think Dennis Allen from the get-go should have probably moved on from Pete Carmichael in that offense, because that was all. I mean, you talk about the person that is most attached to Sean Payton. It's Pete Carmichael. That's why he's already in Denver. I would have liked to seen him maybe make a move there. He didn't. Okay, I understand some of why he probably didn't.
Yeah, because that's why he was hired, was to be like, hey, just keep this thing going. Just keep the train rolling.
Right, and I don't think the Saints were truthful with themselves to see where Sean Payton's offense was even when he left. That's probably the problem. And so they kept something that probably didn't need to continue on down the road. But I give Dennis Allen credit. He realizes what this year is. It is the year that is going to make or break him forever as an NFL head coach. If he gets fired and fails again, there's no more opportunities. That's your second chance. You don't get a third, because there's nothing like guys that get third chances. It's because, man, that one playoff run or that one whatever they did, like in their coaching resume history, like you can kind of go back. Like my coach that I played for, North Turner, right? He had won Super Bowls as an offensive coordinator. He had good enough regular seasons as a head coach that you can make. It's like, man, the offense is going to be really good, top 5. We just got to go get a defensive coordinator, pair him with Norv. We can go win a lot of games, and Norv did.
Yeah.
There's none of that in Dennis Allen's resume. He has none of that. Like, he's top 10 worst winning percentages of all time. This is it. And if this doesn't work, he will never, ever, ever be a head coach at the NFL level again. So he realized that, and I give him credit. Again, he went and made a move. It's a big splash move. Personnel moves, we didn't see as much as we wanted to, but at least on the coaching staff, you went and got a guy that fits what you have way better, in my opinion, than what Pete Carmichael was trying to do.
Nicole Stillwater in the Byford YouTube chat says stepped up. Did the Saints not even interview any other potential stepdads? Maybe mom should have slept around and found the best one, not the first one. Okay, it's not unfair.
Look, it's a tale as old as time, right? You're going through this bad marriage, and the first something that's new, you fall in love all over again. You don't even play the field,
Yeah, I mean, he does have that classic rebound feel, right? Like Goddard says, no, Sean left, but he told us, and we were cool with it. DA is the rebound that was safe, but really just sucks. Okay, but he's making an effort, guys. He's making an effort. Damn it! And I'm gonna give him a chance. Shout out Razor. He says, "Good morning from Fort Walton. Blair and some OTB from the balcony for all of the Tiger fans here. Hell yeah, Razor, we love it, dude. This is the way. This is the way.
I'm not that far from Fort Walton. Maybe turn up a little bit.
Yeah, turn up. See if Jake could hear it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
by the way,
this is your daily Kubiak, please solve all of our problems segment. I mean, we do it
with daily, hourly, every time we talk, like, please help us.
we do it every day.
Please help me, I'm poor.
It continues. Oh, great line. That's from Bridesmaids on the plane, right? It's probably my favorite line in that entire movie, actually. But there's your daily Cube segment.
Hey, I have to give because I'll forget. I have to give a shout out to my mother-in-law. I went to get coffee this morning because that's where I'm at. I'm at my in-laws' house. They live on the beach, and a real one. I don't know if you can tell.
Okay, get it in the camera. That would help. There we go. Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, no
Look
way.
at that. I went and got coffee. She's got me against the Florida Gators going across the goal line there.
That's the game-winning touchdown there, right? Ryan Miller's body is either underneath you or pushing you over.
It's somewhere. Oh, look, there's Ryan Miller right there.
Yep, underneath you. There you go. No better feeling than being a fat guy and literally rolling the ball carrier on top of you into the end zone. I remember a couple of times, like, legitimately pencil rolling to help propel Jordan forward because Les Miles like, oh, 3rd and goal from the 3, let's run a QB sneak. But hey, we scored it, So hey, get over it, nerds. Anyway, when we get back, it's time for a little OTB mailbag. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
That's a cool mug. It's a cool ass mug. Shout out mother-in-law. That's the real one, man. Go to Trash Rangers. Don't throw that in the trash. Throw Taylor in the trash. Okay, actually you can, because Livingston and Central Parish are served by trash rangers, residential. Like you see the red cans popping up around your neighborhood. The reason being, it's a better level of customer service. It's reliable. It's efficient. They care about you. They're local, right? All of the profits are funneled back into the community through local sports teams, churches, charitable initiatives, all of that, right? Unlike these national companies who keep the trash here, but take the profits out of Louisiana. Too much of that going on. Not a trash rangers. But what if you're a business owner? I don't care. It's not just Livingston. If you're a business owner anywhere in Baton Rouge and you need front load dumpsters and you need to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week, Trash Rangers is there for you. Okay. They're flexible. They understand the business need to be flexible. They can work with you directly to find a solution. Also, roll off dumpsters. They're the key. TrashRangersLLC.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Pluckers, Glen West Talking Tigers, and Sharif Ishak as Saints Camp fires up. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Let's dive into some OTB Mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Welcome back, OTB. That's going to be Mailbag. Lakeview Livid says, "Is everything good with your dad? I haven't heard him run 870 lately." No, he's like soft retired. He's only doing I don't know if they have announced it or I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. He's doing like limited stuff during football season, basically.
When he retires, can we get him in studio for like a full hour, maybe?
In studio is going to be like one off, yeah, potentially.
Yeah, like a one off, like a 9 a.m. type situation. Let him sleep in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe stays at your house so he doesn't have to drive from New Orleans, and just a full hour.
I'm about to guilt trip that man into doing a podcast with me. I floated the idea, thinking he'd be into it, and he was kind of shutting me down. I'm like, really?
What's the name going to be?
I don't know. I'm like, really? You don't want your grandkids to like have money? Is that really? You're just gonna take food out of their mouths? Okay, dude. That's cool, man. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Did I miss some Jake Gyllenhaal news? I don't read that question because I don't know what that I don't know. Ryan Smith, hashtag OTB Mailbag. How can we get Jake from the beach but no T-Bob on his monthly Mexico trip? Trip. Guys, let's relax. And
it's bi-weekly. That's the way we say it there.
No, it's not bi-weekly. And it's because I actually took vacation. That's why. I'm not going to work if I take a vacation day.
Well, everybody's wired a little bit differently, so we could get you from the lake, though.
Hold on, though. You're not taking vacation days right now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm on a vacation, but I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to need these vacation days later on. So I'm like, I'm going to work.
That's actually a shout out. Yes, for sure. That's what I'm saying. That's actually ideal. That's a.
If we get T-Bob in the studio at Toledo Bend, we're never going to see him again.
Oh, don't worry. These next contract negotiations, I'm trying to be there for like 2 months straight every time. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Favorite dinner for at the beach? I mean, look, I'm going to be very chalky here. Long Beach Day, you're sun-kissed, any sort of seafood. I want to start with like a ceviche, a little fresh ceviche dip to really lube me up. And then if you want to go into like sashimi even or fried seafood, I don't care, just any sort of seafood.
I'm going to do the crab boils where you just throw it on the table and everybody just goes to town. And there's a couple of different variations of that you can have, but those are always a go-to. But does anybody else have the feeling when you get back from the beach and you've been in the water, so you've been using a lot of energy, it's almost like the calories don't count because all you do is eat once you get back to the room and you can't get full.
It's no different than like that great day, if you've been lucky enough to like go on a ski trip or something and you're out there just grinding the mountain all day and your body's just dog tired, but you're full of endorphins. You feel great. A couple beers in there. Hell yeah, dude. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Worst movie stepdad. So I'm going to defend a movie stepdad here. Somebody mentioned the Santa Claus movie stepdad. I believe it's Judge Reinhold. And let's just take a step back and look at it from Judge's perspective. Okay? All of a sudden, his new wife's ex-husband is legitimately out here claiming to be Santa Claus and telling his stepchild that he is Santa Claus to the point of kidnapping him for multiple days. Now, as we know in the lore of the movie, he indeed is Santa Claus, right? But I'm not convinced that we're not just seeing everything through Scott Calvin's eyes in that movie. Like, is Scott Calvin actually just a psychopath? He was a high-level business executive who cracked under the pressure, went from being a business toy maker to convincing himself that he is the toy maker and kidnapped his child. He got obese, went through extreme physical changes, which would be disconcerting. I guess all I'm saying is, even in the lore of the movie, if he actually is Santa, Judge Reinhold's in a tough spot there, okay? None of us would sit there and be cool with what Scott Calvin was doing to our ex-wife's kid. True or false?
Yeah, probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. How can you argue against it? Even though he does get that weenie whistle at the end.
Huh.
Sorry, I thought about this a lot last time I watched Santa Claus.
I mean, I want to go Dr. Robert Doback from Step Brothers. Like, that's the first one that kind of comes to mind because there were some things he did in that movie that I'm like, it's not them, it's you. You know, I felt like the kids got a bad rap, and sure, they had some childish tendencies, but I feel like it was really him. Like, he didn't fully give himself over to being a father, so he would be one.
He was mean.
Isn't there one in Star Wars that we're forgetting about, like
was mean?
Palpatine or something? Isn't he kind of a stepdad?
In a way, Palpatine is a stepdad to Anakin, and he would definitely be amongst the absolute worst.
Do uncles that adopted you count as a stepdad?
It sounds personal.
I was gonna say Uncle Vernon from Harry Potter.
Yeah, okay.
But like he's an uncle, but like he's like the stepdad.
Uncle Vernon's
you know what I mean?
actually abusive.
Yeah, Uncle
like,
Vernon's
he, like,
awful.
Snatches
But
up Harry by the hair.
Does he count?
Yeah,
though?
I would say in the theme. Guys, let's give Doback a break, okay? His sons were losers. Like,
Yeah, right. But he was really like. I mean,
Like
Derek
that
Shore is
dinner?
a better
drinking at the
stepson. Like,
bar,
it's easier,
Christmas
but like
Eve.
you can't pick favorites like that.
Yeah, like that dinner where
Yeah, but what
Derek.
Derek was talking and he
Derek's
asked a question and he's like,
successful and funny and yeah, and him and you know
He got
that's
abs.
two
Can't trust
yeah,
him.
he's got abs.
Dale, what did I tell you about interrupting? I mean, I would say that if you first met Dale and or am I getting my stepbrothers confused? But whatever. If you met if you met Will Ferrell first and then you met Derek and you were in Doback's position, you might be a little smitten as well. You might be a little impressed.
Maybe so. How about the dad in the Sandlot? Like, he didn't really do anything, but it always bothered me how scared the kids were to tell him about his baseball.
Yeah. I mean, also, who plays a better intimidating stepdad than Dennis Leary?
That's
like you
very fair.
Look at Dennis Leary and you just feel like that dude's banging your mom. I cannot explain it. But does anybody disagree?
No, I
No,
agree.
I don't.
Well, and then also, like, he did not want to play catch
I
with
was gonna
Smalls
say,
in the
Not at all.
backyard.
Like, he did
The
not.
wife literally made him do it.
And then put a piece of meat on his eye.
Which I love.
Yeah.
That steak always looked like it's like very great
Yeah,
old
it
school
was-
fun.
That was an LP question they said about Taylor.
Yeah, by the uncle, I agree.
I mean, he was the stepdad in that
Does your
movie.
uncle count?
What if your uncle actually adopts you? Does that make him your steppappy?
Daddy says I'm the best. Hashtag OTB mailbag. I'm trading for a 17-mile hike with a total of 8,200 feet of elevation.
Whoa.
Will I look like a freak in the gym with the Ballin mask on the stairs or the Bane mask on the stair stepper?
No.
Tommy Moffitt used to do this all the time. He used to
Who
put on that
cares?
high altitude mask and just rip the exercise bike. Look, man, no, do your thing, bro.
Yeah, who cares?
Look, if you got to hike 17 miles up 9,000 feet, we got to let go of self-consciousness, right?
Have to.
You cannot be self-conscious in the gym. You got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Least favorite bill to pay.
All of them.
The most expensive
Water.
one.
But water is water. You got to pay.
I've heard water is water.
No, I think.
I mean, just like think about like water. Like, there's so much
You needed to
on this
survive and have
earth,
to pay for it.
and you have to have it. And I get
Yeah.
all that, but it's like, man, you pay for water. Just it hurts like every single time, and how much you use. I mean, obviously the bill's going to go up.
I hate
Snake
car
chip.
notes. I hate car notes.
I just hate all of them.
I mean, I do too, but like car notes, like especially because just in a few years, how ridiculous car notes have gotten with the interest rates and the prices, like they've gotten legitimately insane. I think I pay All-Star to do commercials for them, which is why you should trust me when I talk about their product. Like I actually know I pay. I basically pay double.
We both do because we believe in it that much, but we both do give them some,
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite dinner. Oh, wait, I already did that one. Sorry. There was one that I wanted to get to that we missed. He got us his car insurance. Yeah.
Insurance of any kind.
Yeah,
It
the
hurts.
older you get, I feel like it's just natural. The older you get, the more you just come to be like,
meh.
I don't know about these insurance guys.
Right.
It's all scam.
Seriously.
But I mean, no, look, there's a lot of great insurance workers that are there when you need them, and hopefully you never need them, right? It's a weird thing because the hope is that you never have to use what you're paying for, right? You just have, but you, if you ever have to, you just hope that they don't screw you over and
yeah, it's just, it hurts to
fight
pay
you.
that much. And then once you actually do need them, even though you've been putting in for years and years and years and never needing them, then your payments go up because you use them.
Yeah. No, I know. That's
like, how does that math ain't mathing.
Exactly.
The math with bills and taxes doesn't ever math.
God, dude,
No.
I mean, I don't know what's about to happen. My wife does all the tax stuff because she has her business and they have account and everything. Ooh.
I'm just glad that all of my jobs take it out before I see it.
Yeah, mine don't. I am puckering.
Ooh, good.
Yeah, I am puckering about what the IRS is about to do to me. I mean, I don't know, guys. You
They're
may see me.
Hawk-Tua.
I'm about to say you may see me on a street corner Hawk-Tuing before long. Okay, so just tip me. That's all I ask.
Just tip.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite Bill Paxton movie?
Ooh.
Oh, Club Dread.
That's a choice. I've never seen Club Dread, but that's a choice for a person with the resume of Bill Paxton.
I know. I didn't say maybe not the best, but you asked favorite, right?
Yep, that is true.
Yeah, favorite Club Dread. It's not even close.
And
Tombstone.
Okay,
it's
that's
great.
Tombstone's a good one. I'll go
Tombstone's
Weird
incredible,
Science.
but he's not the best
main
character in Tombstone, so I went with Club Dread.
That's fair.
He has a lot of those movies though where he's not the main character. But he's a
Weird
complete
Science.
scene
He's the
stealer.
older brother. He's just an
Chet,
a-hole, but he's
right?
awesome. Yeah, Chet.
I mean, look, he's a scene stealer in Edge of Tomorrow, and he's barely in that movie.
Yeah.
He's a scene stealer in Aliens.
Yeah.
I know this is chalk again, but I've watched Twister twice recently, the original, and I think it's just one of my favorite movies ever.
You know, the Lights, Camera, Barstool. I usually line up pretty well with their movie takes. Every one of them said Twisters is better than Twister.
So I find that very hard to believe, but I've heard awesome things about Twisters, and I really want to see Twisters. I tried to line it up last week for my wife's birthday, and I couldn't. So here's to hoping I can get out to my theater that I enjoy. See, guys?
No free shout-outs.
No free shout-outs.
All right. That'll do it for another edition of OTB Mailbag. Coming up next on Off the Bench, what do we have next in our docket? Let's see here.
I have that David Griffin.
Oh, yes. Well, we got
Also-
I can maybe play the David Griffin quote to show you why I think that Jamar Chase quote were so similar. But maybe we'll just hold that in our back pocket for a second. But Alondra linked a very interesting win percentage post from PFF College showing the winningest coaches in college football right now. Some kind of shocking names on that list. Also, what, Alondra?
Oh, I was going to say, I have that Hold the Mayo video, too.
Oh, yes, and we will play you. We haven't not gotten into the Equiminius St. Brown drama on this program yet. So we will play, I'm live, talking about Equiminius St. Brown's comments on New Orleans cuisine. And we got Nick Underhill starting off hour 3 at 9 a.m. Keep it locked right here, guys. Off the Bench, youtube.com/1045 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, okay? You go to All-Star Toyota today, and you can explore a wide range of vehicles. They got everything. I custom ordered the Murdered Out Minis, right? I said, look, man, I got a few kids now. I think I really want to dive into this minivan thing. But I wanted to look a little cooler, and sure enough, next thing I know, black interior, black exterior, black wheels, not once, but twice. And I legitimately have never loved the vehicle as much as I love my Sienna. But maybe you're not ready to make that jump. They got Tundras, Sequoias. Hell, I spent 3 years in a Camry that I love dearly because I just had a budget and it was like, this is what I can afford. And I leased it. It was great. The point is, no matter what my needs have been, no matter where I've been at financially, they've always had the perfect answer for me and my family. You can get that too. We're going to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The Saints report for training camp out in Irvine, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting recap. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's on, y'all? We got intern Bailey back in the studio. She's been trying to explain to us why all the kids are talking about Ohio. Apparently, Ohio is a pejorative. Right? You use it when you Bailey. How would you describe if somebody calls something Ohio? What are the kids saying?
I don't know. Probably like bad or weird.
Okay. So now Alondra, you raised a good point about Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but I didn't understand. But now that she explained it, I understand now. Like I said, but Joe, because Taylor said if you have Ohio Riz, that means you don't have Riz.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa, Joe Burrow has like ultimate Riz.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
But
I think where we've landed after talking it out is that Ohio, when used as an adjective, exists independently of Ohio as a noun.
Yeah.
So Ohio Riz perfectly describes Taylor, though he did get victorious. And maybe just Ohio in general perfectly describes Taylor, but he's not from Ohio, right? Whereas Joe Burrow would be the inverse of Ohio Riz, to Alondra's point, yet he is from Ohio.
Yeah.
Language is funny like that. Look at these kids.
What did Ohio do to deserve this?
I mean, I get it. You know, has Ohio ever done anything that you've been like?
AJ Hawk's pretty cool.
I guess.
Yeah. Bobby Carpenter's pretty cool.
Okay,
I like
all
Bob.
y'all are doing is naming good white linebackers.
So is Joe Burrow.
So are we saying Ohio's greatest strength is just white
White
linebackers?
linebackers, maybe.
Like, I mean, I kind of feel
LeBron's
like
At least
from
they've got something.
that's
LeBron
true.
James is
LeBron
from
flag
Ohio.
bearer from Ohio. Okay, fair.
I mean,
fair. Are y'all like all in on Ohio now, or what are you big fans
I hear
of
the
Columbus?
chili. I hear the chili's great.
I mean, Cleveland, it is the mistake by the lake.
Taylor loves Ohio. He went for his bachelor.
I went to
That's
Cedar
true.
Point. I went to
Taylor-
Cedar Point.
it's
Cedar
like we
Point is
said,
awesome.
Taylor is Ohio. I've heard
Well,
Cedar
Ohio's
Point's
for
great.
lovers.
Cedar Point's great.
I would actually love to go. to
Ohio's not bad.
Egotter says, yeah, why y'all blasting Ohio? Again, these are the kids.
Hey, the kids made
These
this
are
up.
Bailey's
Yeah.
people. Bailey's people are out here calling everything Ohio. It ain't me. I'd never even heard of this before Taylor and Bailey brought it up after the show yesterday.
Pro Football Hall of Fame, Ohio.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
You know, Canton's. We had to go as rookies. There's the Hall of Fame there. That's about it.
The
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
In Cleveland, yeah.
Donovan Mitchell.
I think I've convinced myself on Ohio.
I haven't.
Cincinnati's right over the state line of Kentucky, where there's good bourbon and horse racing. You know, quick trip.
Definitely not me being shocked that Ohio and Kentucky border one another. Wow, that's insane. Anyway.
Wait, you just found that out?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. All right, let's go ahead and so yeah, I'm live. Famed Hold the Mayo caller called in to Spread Quarters the other day because Equiminius St. Brown, who is on the Saints roster currently, we'll see if he makes a team or not, brother of the great Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is I believe the brother of the death god Anubis, if I had to remember correctly. But either way, Equiminius, well, he went on his podcast and basically trashed New Orleans food. Here's the whole thing from Spread Quarters.
Straight to Dynasty. Spread Quarters.
Yeah, I'm live.
Yeah, what's up?
Who the is that St. Brown mother? He said, "Oh, the food here ain't good." He went to Drago's.
I heard food's great. Still have to.
You heard? Like you've
I
been
heard.
there. Is it good?
I heard. I don't know. I gotta
Okay,
know.
where have you eaten? Like
I went to Drago's.
That's like going to the McDonald's or seafood. I mean, get the out of here.
I think people don't understand how good food is in L.A. Food in L.A. is top tier in the world. So I know they say New Orleans has the best food in the world. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, shove a In-N-Out burger up your practice squad ass, motherfucker. You ain't gonna see the field out here ragging on our food. Go sit on the bench, you know? Rest in peace, Magnolia. I love you, Mayo. Later.
Oh my God, dude!
Oh, the In-N-Out burger line.
Oh yeah.
God.
I mean, he's not wrong, dude. You know, like we all Drago's is great, but Drago's at the Hilton. You can't be eating at Drago's at the Hilton and using that to form your entire view of New Orleans cuisine culture. Although I will say this. With how he talked about LA food, and I get it, LA food is objectively very good, and it's very multicultural. There's a bunch of different kinds. But if you love LA food like it sounds like Equiminius loves LA food, I don't think this LA food's gonna be for you. You know? You gotta be a little fatter. You gotta be a little more American, a little more to engage in. And grease and spice and fried and delicious. Like, go eat some kind of artful vegan, but still very tasty kebab or some sort. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it feels
think
like
it's going to be
the
for
LA
you.
quote would be nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
that's the LA food that I think he's talking about. Like it makes him feel good, but there's no way it tastes as good.
So I'm going to be interested to see Equiminius really just hitting the nerve of Saints fans. Really, and it's like one of the things that we kind of claim to that we have, right? So you attack that, and you kind of attack All of us. I was gonna say this as well. So is it that same podcast, Taylor? I mean, I know it's their podcast, but is it that same episode?
No, but it's the same podcast. This the other one happened like last week.
Yeah, so this comes from the St. Brown podcast. Amon Ra, Equiminius, and Anubis all have a podcast together. And Amon Ra St. Brown told Equiminius, quote, "No one in your effing room thinks they're going to win a Super Bowl, honestly. Us, like, we know we can do it." To which Equiminius says, "Oh, I think we can win the Super Bowl. Saints are a great organization. It's not that hard to make the playoffs." God, that doesn't really sound like he feels like they can. That's going to be kind of weird, though, right, Jake? If you're Amon Ra and you're basically telling your brother your wide receiver room is crap, and it's a wide receiver room that, like, he's probably not going to make, some real noogie energy out of Amon Ra there.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, hey, your room doesn't have as many Jimmys and Joes as our room has, and you're probably going to be, like the caller said, on the practice squad.
Y'all suck.
It's not great. That is not great brother energy. I don't know which one's older, but it feels like that's older brother energy, kind of telling him, like, you're not good in a bad room.
So Equiminius not off to the best start. But look, man, if you're good on the field, nobody's going to give it him. So where would you tell Equiminius to go? Because obviously Drago's at the Hilton is not it. Let's respect the clock. Go to break. When we get back, we get to that. And the winningest coaches in college football right now. More OTB coming up next. Where does Brian
Off the
Kelly
bench
fall?
with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com. You want the most complete, most reliable, most respected roofing company. You want to go to ColemanRoof.com. Look, man, I don't care if you need anything residential, commercial, anywhere in the state or the Gulf South region, any type of roof. If you're looking online right now, you see it all there. It's all under one roof and the construction portion of the issue. So, like, tree falls in your home, they rebuild the interior and they fix your roof. Water damage, drywall, insulation, they do all that, and they fix your roof. You get the point, right? But one thing you're only going to experience once you work with Coleman is the culture. And it is a work hard, put everything you have into the job culture. No job is too big or too small in terms of size job or in terms of the employee, right? Everybody willing to do what it takes to make sure that the job is done correctly from the jump for their customers from beginning all the way through cleanup. So get with the most complete, reliable, respected roofing company in Louisiana, Coleman Roofing and Construction.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Musco.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150, $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150, and all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Érase una vez un Infinity, diseñado para despertar tu imaginación y desafiarte a soñar, con 3 lujosas filas de asientos. El totalmente nuevo Infinity QX80 de 3 filas.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers, Glen West talking Tigers, and Sharif Ishak as Saints Camp fires up. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, I agree. I think Chad's making some pretty salient points getting into this food thing. Basically getting into, like New Orleans may not have the... like he got her says, LA food is just people from other places, international food. And it's like, yes, like New Orleans may not have the international flair that like an LA does, or, like I know Houston has an incredibly diverse food culture, which has led to a lot of interesting like melding of foods, and you're getting these great new hybrids and whatnot. The only thing I've really tried that's come out of that has been like the Viet Cajun crawfish, which is really good. I love it. But New Orleans cuisine is it is uniquely New Orleans, right? Like it is uniquely this South Louisiana mixture of Cajun, Creole, whatever else you want to call it. If you want to call it even American. And so, yes, you're not going to have as diverse of options, which is why I was kind of saying like, yeah, if you want to eat healthier, there's not going to be a ton maybe for you in the New Orleans cuisine department. But if you just care about taste, and this kind of style maximized, well, they're going to have that. Where would you send him, though? Where would you send Equiminius? If we're going to get all up in arms, we have to offer a solution. I'm going to go Chuck, and I'll just say Commander's Palace, dude. I think from feeling to food to just the vibe, everything, Commander's Palace feels distinctly New Orleans. A little mainstream, no doubt, but still distinctly New Orleans. Go get you some turtle soup and tell me that don't taste delicious, dude. Impossible.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, do you not think maybe like a hole in the wall, like deep cut would be better for New Orleans because there's so many of those?
Like a
Commander's
Dookie
Palace
Chases
is
or something?
fantastic.
Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like something that would be a little bit more like full vibes of New Orleans. Not that Commander's Palace, again, like I agree with you. It is mainstream, but it is fantastic. I don't know. I feel like maybe a deep cut if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Maybe like, Taylor mentioned Mandinas. I love me some Mandinas.
Muriel's in Jackson Squares.
Antoine's. Tom Fitzmaurice.
Cajun Cannons.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Katie's Mid-City. I did used to love Katie's Mid-City. Port of Call. I always associate Port of Call more drinking, though. They got a good burger. I remember going to, that's how I would start. I would get done hosting the Mardi Gras Day morning show at Gallier Hall, go over to Port of Call, and immediately start drinking. I think they were Monsoons, and then eventually find my way to Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop drinking the Voodoos. Oof. I haven't had a Voodoo in so long. I need some. GW Finn says like that's another great one. So look, yeah, there's options out there, Equiminius. Come on, get it together. Guys, if I was to give you the top 10 leaders in the NCAA in win percentage from a head coaching perspective, I think there's some shocking names on this list. First, no Brian Kelly to be found. Okay, nowhere in there. That said, Ryan Day leading the way with an 875 win percentage, which is actually insane. So maybe, the deaths of Ryan Day been greatly exaggerated. You have Kirby Smart checking in at number 2. How about this? John Sumrall checking in at 3. And it begs the question, he had a dominant 2 years at Troy, so small sample size. But Is it possible that Tulane got an upgrade? Willie Fritz is an incredible coach, and he was the exact man that Tulane needed at the time.
Yeah.
But I can't help but wonder now now that Fritz got them back, like, could Sumrall take them to even greater heights?
I love Willie Fritz, and I agree with you. He was the right guy at the right time. Sumrall much younger. The sample size, because even when he took over Troy, if I'm not mistaken, they had a little fall from grace.
Yeah.
Right. We know they came into LSU and beat them, but then after that, like, it was a fall, certainly for that program. And I think he brought them back up. So Tulane got a hell of a coach.
So I'm saying, man, if I'm a Green Wave fan, I'm not gonna even mention sample size. I'm just gonna hold up this chart and I'm gonna wave it at everybody who's coming like, oh, bro, we got the third winningest coach right now in college football. You freaking nerds, okay? Roll wave. We're out of time. I want to get into more of this as well. I mean, Curt Cignetti, maybe the most quotable coach on this list. Also, fourth coach. What the hell can he do at Indiana?
Good luck at Indiana.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. Can Cignetti actually make Indiana work? You got Josh Heupel on this list, what I was surprised with, but no Brian Kelly. Winningest active coach, but not from a win percentage.
Lincoln Riley on there?
He is. He's very high on this list, in fact.
Figured.
We can get to it more next hour. We're going to kick off hour 3 with Nick Underhill.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Nick Underhill coming up next from New Orleans Football right now. And remind you about Central Plumbing. Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org is the website. And look, man, any plumbing needs that you have, any issues, or if you want like a bathroom remodel or an upgrade, maybe go to like a tankless water. You never run out of hot water again. Just have to be repairs. But the point is, guys, they've been at it for 5 decades, 50 years. So they know how to fix it all. And they've grown so much over those 50 years because their customers are so deeply satisfied. And that's because they send you information ahead of time about who's coming in your home. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. They have great warranty once the work is done. Flat rate pricing structures. There's no surprise or hidden fees just tacked on the back end out of nowhere. There's only one answer for all your plumbing problems, and that's centralplumbing.org.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal. A movie.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, July 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 86. In hour 3 of today's show, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football hops on the show at 9 a.m. Then we'll close things out as we do every day with some Ask the Bench. You missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 3. And for the first time in a while now, we are speaking with our guy that we have talked to every Tuesday morning for years now. That is Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football. He has been gallivanting around Europe. Nick, what's up, dude? How was where all you go? How was the trip?
It was a great trip, good experience, but not as good as being here right now with you guys.
That's that's literally that is the most untrue thing that has ever been said on this show. Where'd you go?
We went to London, Nice, and Athens.
Wow. Okay, give me a highlight from each city.
Yeah. I mean, London, I'm a big fan of Nando's, and I think it's starting to come over to America. So, just eating the chicken at Nando's is always a highlight.
Wait, what is Nando's?
It's like Applebee's for chicken.
Oh, wow. What? So you're telling me your highlight of London is going over and eating at a chicken chain restaurant? At a UK chicken chain restaurant?
Absolutely. I'm a simple guy. I'm an Olive Garden guy, man. If you take me to Chili's,
Yes.
it is a good night. Give me the Big Mouth burger bites. That's all I need.
Hell
I'm a simp. I'm an easy food guy.
Wow.
I like Applebee's. The bourbon street chicken and shrimp. It's good. I'm an Applebee's guy. But Nando's
calling you
is a highlight. Good blocker, Bill. Nando's Nice is just right there. The water, just the whole. It's just kind of like a beach situation.
Yeah, just beautiful coastal vibes, just infusing you. What about Athens?
Absolutely. I mean, you're standing at places where there's a sign that says this is a Bible scene where the apostles visited and spoke from. You got the all
the Parthenon.
Yes, all that. All that stuff is just amazing. And you're just kind of standing there, and it just kind of makes the world and just time shrink a little bit. It's just unbelievable to be sitting there in those places. So, it was unbelievable. I mean, Athens is just the whole vibe is just it's kind of cool. It's kind of like the French Quarter, but multiplied by just the vibe in general. There's a little sketchiness there, but in Athens, they take it to 100, and I kind of love it. They just kind of know what they are, and it's just kind of feels like that.
I mean, I spent that in my favorite trip of my life was in Greece. We spent a couple days there, and I would say that you can feel the thousands of years of human habitation in this city. It's just very much like clustered and built on top of each other and very rich and fantastic. And, well, I'm very happy for you, Nick. So are we feeling recharged for football season?
Yeah, like I think going into this one, I feel more recharged than I ever have. Like, and I'm not like a guy that lacks for motivation, but like I am just kind of like incredibly excited to get to work right now. And yeah, we just got out here yesterday. Mickey and DA talk later today. Practice starts tomorrow. I'm incredibly excited to kind of see what this team becomes. I think the eyes are wide open to what they can be and can't be possibly, but I'm just excited to see how it comes together. I'm incredibly motivated to just watch these practices. I think it stinks that like the fans aren't going to be able to come out here at all, but you know, we aren't going to take that responsibility lightly. You know, we got to be the eyes and ears for everything out here, and you know, again, that's something that we always take incredibly seriously. But I think it's going to get taken to the max just because no one else is going to be able to see them. So it's going to be up to us to have good analysis, accurate analysis. Make sure we're telling people, you know, the right stuff. I'm excited to get that process started.
Can you corroborate reports that the team thinks that Dennis Allen is cool now?
I like DA. I'm a DA fan. I think he knows how to relate to his team. I mean, if they're doing things to kind of take that even a step further, I think that's good. I mean, I thought that was maybe a little bit of an issue last year. I wrote a story about kind of the messaging last year, like being needing to change, like to reach all the players. And I think we saw it in the second half of last year. I think if nothing else, like the DA's greatest quality is that I think that he's aware. I think there's a level of awareness to what he is, what he isn't, where he's succeeding, where he's failing. I think it's a willingness to address those things. You know, he's a guy that has a top 10 defense and fires his entire staff because he feels like he can be a little bit better. Like, I think he's somebody that's incredibly honest about like those self audits. And if it's needed to play, you know, more games and meetings and get people laughing and loosened up and all that stuff, cool. Like, I think that's a good thing to notice and to do. You know, Matt Parrish wrote that story. I thought it was a good story, good reporting on it. Yeah, I mean, it's something though that I think is good to start out at that place. I do think though last year, if you look, there's a dividing point in the season where it feels like they kind of figured out a lot of their internal issues, figured out how to get everybody on the same page, got everybody relate, and they started playing better. The offense started becoming easier, you know, all that stuff. So I think if they're able to start that sooner, like maybe it sets them up to get off to a good start this season. And I think that's maybe the thing that determines the outcome of the whole entire year, because like the schedule, if you look at strength of schedule, it's not too bad. Like I think it's actually one of the easiest schedules in the league. But if you look at where the games are slotted and how they're set up, if they get it off to a bad start, I think that's the thing that could just collapse the whole season, because then everybody's sitting in the locker room looking at each other and going like, here we go again. Everything we tried to do didn't work. And then maybe everything blows up. So whatever they can do to hit the ground running, like I think they should try all that stuff.
Hey, Nick, what's the joint practice schedule? Because obviously you being down there in Irvine, you went out there with a purpose, not just the weather. There's a ton of teams that have training camp right there. So what's maybe that joint practice schedule looking like?
Could you hear his question, Nick? Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. He was asking, with so many teams in Irvine, what does that joint practice schedule look like during camp?
So the only joint practice they're having is against San Francisco. And interestingly enough, it's happening here where the Saints are practicing, and then they're going to San Francisco to play the game, which is kind of interesting.
Little home and home.
I don't know why. I don't know why they would bring all their stuff down here just to go up there. I guess it allows the Saints to kind of maintain their base, and then I guess like going back to New Orleans cuts down some driving time on some of the equipment. I don't know, but you still got to take stuff up there. So that's something I guess we can ask him today why it's set up like that. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that like there isn't like a Raiders or, you know, a Chargers or a Rams just kind of considering everybody in this area. But yeah, that's the only one. Going to be a great test though. I mean, that's kind of the team you want to practice against. We'll find out, you know, kind of everything over those few days. And, you know, I don't know. It's going to be interesting though, because like they're going to be running the same offense, so you're going to kind of be getting the same looks against your defense, but maybe just against maybe different skill sets and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the only one they got set up right now.
So, and I apologize to Matthew because I've been saying Power all morning instead of Paris. I'm an idiot. But I really did enjoy that piece, and I enjoyed how, it started out funny, whatever, the games, but then it got into this idea that, Dennis Allen was hired for continuity, but he's kind of had to reshape this thing in his own image, right? And the defensive staff overhaul. Now you have the offensive staff overhaul. Nick, if the offensive overhaul is as successful as the defensive one was, where do the Saints end this season?
Double-digit wins. I mean, if it works as well as that, I mean, hold up though. Like, here's the wild thing about the offense. Like, look where they finished in yards per game and points per game, and you won't believe the result of the season. So, like, what does it actually have to be?
Where did they finish?
They were top 10 in both.
Okay. It was a top 10 defense, too, when he switched everything up, correct? That's crazy. So you were top 10 in points per game. You were 6 in allowed. You were top 10 in scored, and you finished, 7 and 10?
Yeah. Well, they were a game above, right? Last year, 9 and 8. Weren't they 9 and 8 last year?
I'm being dumb, yeah.
Yeah, 7 and 10 the year before. But, like, it's just kind of wild to see. I guess it's just kind of how it's stacked and how it comes together. Like, statistically, every single time I go to, like, write something about how bad something was, you look at the numbers and it's like, it just doesn't, the numbers never support what it felt like you watched. Like, it just feels like a really weird outlier season because, like, a lot of times, there's a little bit of disconnect between, like, the visual analysis and the statistical analysis, but, like, it exists within the same realm. Like, there's just so much stuff on this offense that doesn't make sense to me. Like, just how are these numbers at? But then you kind of go back and you look at the end of last season, and like they really were putting it together to the point where I was the guy, Pete's got to go, and then by the end of the season, it's like, is he like making a case here? Like, it was kind of weird how they figured things out. But if they are a good offense, I don't want to use the word stat padding, but like the numbers got inflated a little bit through some of that stuff. So if it's a real strong, conducive to winning offensive number type of stuff, I mean, I think they could be a lot better, but can they actually get there? I mean, that's the real question. And I have significant concerns about the offensive line. I have significant concerns about Trevor Penning. If Penning doesn't work out, I don't know enough about Uliudo or some of these other guys yet to really know if there's that backstopping of it to where it's going to be okay. I mean, I guess if you can get the James Hurst level, but like a more athletic version, I mean, I guess that's an improvement for that spot, or at least the overall strength of the offensive line. But there's a lot of stuff they got to figure out. But yeah, if the offense can be good, I mean, this could easily be a 10-win team. But I think the variance for me though is like 7 wins to 10 wins, and I think 10 wins is if like everything goes right. I think they got to get Alvin Kamara bought back in. I think that's going to be a process. I think there's just a lot of stuff that they got to figure out on that side of the ball going into camp.
Can we get an update on the fullback position battle, Nick?
Well, I think it's Prentice. I mean, I think he's running ahead right now. But I really think it's mostly going to be. I think Taysom's going to get a lot of those snaps, and I think when you look at the way they operate those, the Kubiak offenses, the Shanahan offenses, it's a lot of 21 personnel, and I think the flex with Taysom is that, I think he allows you to turn it into 12, based on if they aren't coming out in their base defense, and I think that's going to be the thing that they kind of build their identity around is that flexibility with him. And it's really kind of fascinating when you start breaking down like what the rest of the league does in 21. And, it's Miami, it's Houston, and it's San Fran last year. And their attempts are like topping everybody by like 100, and they're killing teams with it. And it's kind of like, well, why doesn't everybody else do this? And, there's got to be more than 3 good fullbacks in the NFL that kind of allow you to operate out of this personnel. But it really does feel like a massive cheat code, and it's kind of one of those like common sense things when you think about it. It's like, well, why are they doing this? And it's because like nobody spends time building out their base defense. You know, you got, you know, a handful of pressures, a handful of coverages you can do out of it, and it's like nobody's putting in this like extensive package because you aren't going to end up in it 30 times a game until you play these teams, but they get you stuck in a look and they just kind of murder you with it. And, you know, I think it was taken to a 10 with San Fran because Juszczyk could line up a lot of different places. I think, you know, Taysom's a different type of player, but I think that flexibility is something they're gonna tap into. I think that's what they're gonna build their identity on. But yeah, I think he'll, you know, at the end of the season be kind of the, you know, the main fullback, even if he's not listed as fullback. And then, you know, I think that he's just going to be the, you know, I think he's going to be the identity of the offense in a lot of ways.
Nick, I got to say, and by the way, Nick, of course, from New Orleans Football, you should go sign up today. I'm a proud subscriber. We did the blind, I gave Jake the blind Pepsi test the other day with Herbert and Burrow stats. Very well done there. Again, it's kind of one of those statistical disconnects that you were alluding to. It just feels at this point, Nick, I guess the point that I've reached through a full Saints offseason now is I don't know how many more ways I can come in here daily and say, here's to hoping that Kubiak can solve everything. Like, are you feeling it as well? Have you ever seen this amount of hope and optimism riding on one single coaching change that isn't even a head coaching change?
No, I mean, there's so much on it. I mean, there is, because it feels like it just has to flip like completely. And, you know, I think one of the reasons that you kind of become hopeful of it is because, you know, I've mentioned like 8 times that like just the end of last season when they started using motion, they started using play action. And it's like, well, what if they actually do these things with the cohesive vision where it's like, you know, and at the end of last year, I feel like they were just kind of throwing stuff at it. Like, yeah, run a play action. Like, you know, I think if you get someone in here with like, you know, okay, we're going to build this and, you know, we're going to run out of this look for 3 weeks and then, you know, create a tell and break it in week 4 with this play action. Like, you know, if you're doing stuff like that and telling a story like Peyton used to, you know, I thought that was the thing with him is you'd see something happen in week 17 and be like, man, like this is kind of like reminiscent. And you go back and you start looking and it's like, he's telling stories like to create tells and then breaking them. Like if you're doing that stuff and there's a cohesive vision, like maybe it does work. You know, but I think it's on and I put the same stock into it. It's kind of like, well, if Kubiak can fix it, if he can fix that, I think it's probably unfair to kind of view him as the savior though. Like I think he's had some success, but then, you know, there's been some stuff like you look at how people kind of talked about him in Minnesota. It was like he was fine. You know, it wasn't like he was like the wonder kid that kind of saved everything. But I think he can elevate this. I mean, I think it would be hard not to. And you know, you look at the staff too. Like they got all the guys they wanted. So I think like kind of that optimism around it kind of builds. Like it isn't like they had the hodgepodge together in offensive staff. Like it really came together. So yeah, I think the weight on it is because you know what DA is on defense, and you know the defense is going to be fine. You know, at some point it's not going to be top 10 anymore, and you know that's kind of one of my like quiet concerns going into the season is. You have a really old team on that side of the ball. And, you know, one day you're going to look up and some of these old guys aren't going to be able to run anymore. Yeah. And, you know, it's going to, like, at some point slip. Is that this year or not? I don't know. So, like, it is imperative that the offense starts getting better kind of quickly. And I think when you look at, like, younger players, like, that side of the ball at least has a few. Like, I don't know that you have that hope on the defensive side of the ball in key spots. So, like, it kind of has to start shifting a little bit, and you know, hopefully it starts with him, because if this doesn't work, I think it does all blow up. I think that's when it's like, all right, it's got to be new coach, rebuild, all that stuff, and it could get really dark for a long time. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of weight on this offensive hire, because if it doesn't work, I think it just kind of wipes everything out.
Ooh, enemy at the gates, shadows pressing in. Can Kubiak be the panacea to the Saints' problems? We'll see. Again, guys, if you want to take the Pepsi test of quarterbacks, You can go watch it on our OTB Saints channel or sign up at neworleans.football. Get ready for football season, man. There's no better Saints site during football season to keep you up to date. Nick, thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, talk to you guys next week.
Great to catch up with you again. Again, Nick, weekly throughout the entire Saints season, bringing you the latest. Be very interested to hear his observations and read him and Tripp out there in California. Yes, Yake.
I do love the fact that he went to London and he brought up food being the highlight of his trip. Nobody in the history of time has ever brought up London and their food scene being the highlight of their trip to London.
That's a very good point. I think I'm much more stereotypical where the one time I've been in London, my favorite part was the drinking. I just feel like I got hammered the entire time.
The Guinness tastes better in London. I will wholeheartedly say that.
Just drinking tasty beers everywhere I went. And fish and chips, actually. I do love fish and chips.
Yeah.
Whatever. I like a classic English breakfast.
Right, but it's not the highlight of your trip.
I love haggis. You were calling me tea haggis by the end of the trip. So, yeah. No, it's not the highlight, but, I'm a bit more bullish on London cuisine.
You're not the most picky eater either. You're kind of like I am. Like, look, if it's there, probably going to eat it.
That's true. All right. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. You go to K to Z window coverage today. Have Brandon Barton out to your home. Take advantage of his decades in the game. It's a great story, man. He actually, his grandma was doing draperies for her social club, and, he's kind of coming up around. He says, you know what? So I'm here. We can make this thing a business. I don't even think at that time that Brandon knew just how deep the rabbit hole went, but now he does because he's tunneled the entire thing. Okay. And you don't recognize the depth of what these upgrades can do, both aesthetically and functionally for you and your home. So whether you're looking for like some blinds for an outdoor kitchen, you're looking to save money by keeping your cooling bills down, you need a blackout room and like a baby room, theater room, master bedroom, or whatever, maybe with some honeycomb shades. The point is there's a million options for you, and they're all at K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The Saints report for training camp out in Irvine, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting recap. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry.
Just play him.
You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so very special. But I'm a creep.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Who sings this again?
Radiohead.
Oh, that's right. I was wondering why I had listened to this recently. I've never really listened to Radiohead.
Some could say they're a one-hit wonder.
I am not going to step into these waters. I know people. I don't think Radiohead felt like a one-hit wonder when I was growing up. I feel like
they've got some bangers.
I feel like people love him.
Yeah.
I randomly, somebody was telling me about him at SC Media Days. I think it was Rivers, and so I was like, oh, I'll check him out, and I listened. They're a little. I love Creep. They're a little. They're pretty dour. You got to be in kind of a sad mood.
Yeah.
You got to be in a little bit of sad mood, or at least that was my experience. Maybe not for others.
Or angsty, I guess.
Very angsty, a little grungy, which is all good, you know. If you're in the mood for that, there's 90s.
Grunge adjacent for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grunge adjacent's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
But like when and honestly, I do listen to Creep sometimes when I do want to be a little self-loathing.
Yes.
And a little like sad boy.
Sometimes you just got to put it on in your car when you're driving and like maybe cry a little bit. You know?
Yeah, 100%. It's like I was talking about it. Like I when I get in a sad boy mood, sometimes I like to listen to Dashboard still.
Oh no, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Bailey, do you have a sad girl go-to song choice as our resident high school correspondent?
I kind of feel like Coldplay has a lot of sad.
Okay. I used to go to little emo junior high T-Bob. Used to go to sleep listening to Coldplay every night. Little Scientist, little Yellow. It's all like tinged with a bit of like sadness. How do you know about Coldplay, Bailey? I'm always surprised by your mature pop culture selections.
I feel like they're still pretty big.
Are they still big? Or people?
I want to go to a Coldplay concert.
Okay. You know what? Shout out Chris Martin. Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
Taylor, your sad boy
daughter's
music?
name's Apple.
Yeah, I remember that. Never forget that.
I don't have a particular like artist, but just that vibe, the steel guitar, like the old country music vibe. Like that's my sad boy, the little steel guitar.
I mean, it'll get you. What's the
Some Keith Whitley?
What's the old George? Is it George Jones?
Keith Whitley. Yeah.
George, yeah.
What's the old
He
George
stopped
Jones
loving
song?
her today.
That one?
Yeah. Oh
George
my
Jones.
God.
That one's very depressing.
Malcolm Gladwell has an entire podcast on kind of sad songs and like the science behind it and like that song specifically and the writing of that song.
Yeah.
And it's one of the craziest things I've ever experienced where he's playing the song and I'm sitting there and I've got tears leaking out of my eyes. And at that time, he's like, And if you're not crying right now, like, I don't know how to, like, I don't know what to do.
I gotta send y'all.
I've never felt so manipulated in my entire life from a pure
what was
audio
Alondra's
media.
answer for sad music?
She never gave me it. She
no,
just said
I don't
kind
know.
of creep.
But I do need to send y'all this video I saw the other day. It's of George Jones, and he's sitting at a table with Randy Travis, Alan Jackson, and Vince Gill, and they're all singing that song together. And Vince Gill's like playing the guitar. It's great.
Oh, please send that right now. Maybe we should listen to that right now.
Okay, Sad Girl song. I don't know. I honestly kind of half expected Bailey to say Lana Del Rey, but are you too?
Yeah.
Is she like?
Is Lana Del Rey
She
still
might
cool?
be too young for Lana Del Rey.
Or she's still cool?
She's really big right now.
Okay.
Oh, she could.
I
She's.
expected Bailey to say Taylor Swift. I'm not gonna lie.
She might be making a comeback.
Does Tay
Lana.
ever fall into sad girl music? She
She
probably has
can,
some,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. If you go through a
Sure.
breakup, you could definitely put some.
Yeah.
Put some.
Look, the right answer, all great answers, but Sam Cooke is the right answer. Like Sad Mood by Sam Cooke. I dare you to listen to that one and not shed some tears.
Okay. I'll definitely try it on.
And it's called Sad Mood.
True.
The name
Never
of the
think
song.
about it.
I don't know what I listen to. I get creep definitely whenever I'm sad. Whenever
I
I'm
like to
cry.
listen to the
Some
social network,
Alanis.
the social network version of Creep specifically.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Dashboard isn't really as much sad. It's a little
Whiny.
different. It's a little whiny. It's I gotta be in a little bit more of a whiny mood. If I'm kind of sad, mad, I'll listen to Creep. I'll listen to Where Is My Mind by the Pigs. I guess it's all of that kind of 90s angst that we all feel sometimes.
What's Dashboard? Or what are they?
2000s.
Are they the?
They're the aughts.
Because tonight will be the night. Is that Dashboard?
No, you didn't want to fully commit there. Tonight.
I don't know. I don't know the.
No, they're
I wasn't
like
confident on the words.
Vindicated. I'm selfish. I'm wrong. They got that
Is
one.
that, is that not them?
Your hair is all those. They're not. Yeah, it's like really good when you want to be like, oh my God, why don't you like me? Why are you making out with other boys? But I thought I always liked you.
The name of the band that sings the song Jake's talking about is Secondhand Serenade.
Oh, Secondhand Serenade.
Oh, I thought that was Dashboard.
Sounds like a little
wholeheartedly
whiny-
thought it was.
Whiny ass group of young.
Very
lads.
whiny. Very whiny.
Yeah, no, Dashboard's like major high school energy. Like, I'm the nice guy. Why don't you like me?
Give me. I don't know a Dashboard song, so I'm asking. I have no
Here,
idea.
let
Like,
me
what's
Play
the
him
most
one.
popular?
Play me.
Yeah.
I just
Give me a
play him
second.
hands
I'm trying
down.
to find the.
Play him hands
Because
down.
the one T-Bob just saying, if
Real,
that was
too.
Dashboard, I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, it was definitely Dashboard.
Does it have cussing in it? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I say we just wing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can play hands down or
if we get
Vindicated.
trouble
putting
for
hands
Dashboard,
down on
Vindicated
right
is
now.
not going to have cursing in it.
Okay. Add. Hold on. Add.
Ad. How do we not have YouTube Premium in here?
Yeah, like how in the world do we?
I
not
ain't
have
paying
that?
for that.
I actually
Well,
finally
not
paid
you,
for it.
the
Now I can't
station.
go back. It's incredible.
I also just sent the Burt Reynolds, or not Burt. Well, Burt Reynolds is in it too, but I just sent that.
See, I mean, you get it.
Yeah, this is very angsty and emo.
No, it's not. I don't even describe this as much angst. It's very emo.
Yeah.
This is somebody walking around in their room by themselves and like just making all these motions, like shoot, golly, and just walking
Golly.
around, just doing that by themselves.
We're doing fine. Turn it up. You got to be crushing hard.
Yeah.
dude. If you're crushing hard, though, it hits.
You know,
Says,
everybody's
"This is
got
my-"
different tastes. I'm going to leave this one for you, and I'm going to stick with Sam Cooke.
Avo says, this is my grass cutting music.
I'm dead.
Grass cutting. I can honestly say I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
What, this song?
Yeah.
Huh. In a day and age where we celebrate the alpha, this was a day and age where the beta was the alpha. You know? Bring me back to that time. We're going to do a little, like, hair swoop, some tight jeans, maybe some eyeshadow, a belt with studs on it, some fingerless gloves, because
Ooh,
why
the
not?
fingerless gloves.
Wait,
Watch
T-Bob
me-
owns.
I used
watched
to
T-Bob
love-
wear those before.
And
T-Bob
watch me
has
work.
a pair of those.
Well, there's different levels to fingerless gloves. You can have like the Joe Pesci sticky bandit fingerless gloves, like
That's
a little
what
bit of
you have.
hobo. Or you can have like the full-on dashboard, like fingerless leather gloves. Or like what I played with, you could have the fingerless snapping glove.
Nuh-uh.
What was the point of cutting the fingers out of the football glove?
I only did on my snapping hand. I liked getting the tactile feel of skin on leather. I didn't like to be completely separated.
But you didn't
from
want
the
to. You didn't want a raw dog with no glove.
No, hell no. That seems insane.
Right.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah,
Once you start
that's
wearing
crazy
gloves
talk.
playing football, you can't ever remember what it was like in high school when you didn't have gloves. Like
The best feeling
you feel naked.
was taking the glove. Yeah, I mean, when you take a glove off though, because yeah, you're right. Like only psychos don't wear gloves, but you would take it off, and just from the impact that you'd have with defenders, your hand would automatically just swell as soon as you took your glove off. At least it did for me.
You smell the inside of those gloves. Ooh, yeah.
Oof.
I've been using them for
Didn't matter how many times you washed them. Didn't matter if they were brand new.
Give me some of
They
that.
all smelled the same. Every pair of them.
Let me smell your gloves, boy. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
T-Bob loves a bad smell. Loves it.
So weird.
You know what else is weird to think about? If you were to take your jersey off and play football, you would feel so exposed. And yet, your jersey provides no protection whatsoever.
We used to have the one kid at
But
practice. He's like, I forgot to bring my practice jersey back, and he's got like T-shirt and shoulder
Slappy.
pads. Yeah, he looked like an
You
idiot.
got the pads just clapping against
clapping
each
around.
other. It's
Looked like
a
an
bad
idiot.
sounding look.
It's like boxers instead of briefs. Everything's just flapping around, running into each other.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Exactly.
Perfect
Yeah.
analogy.
More OTB. Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. See how he depresses us today. Coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 258888888. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is there for you when you need them. We talked about standing up to the big insurance companies. Well, who's going to do that? Fight to get you what you deserve, on your behalf. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You go to getgordon.com. You can see the cases they handle. You can see past results from very satisfied customers. And also follow them on social media at Get Gordon. We're going to see a lot of content with your favorite athletes, members of the G team, a lot of your favorite gymnasts, the entire women's basketball team, a lot of your favorite football players, baseball players. Like, okay, yes, LSU's been going through a bit of a high watermark in terms of athletics, and the G team is one of the key reasons why. So why don't you join the G team as well by calling 225-888-8888. Get somebody who's going to be there for you when you need them. Follow them on social media at Get Gordon or head to getgordon.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers, Glen West Talking Tigers, and Sharif Ishak as Saints Camp fires up. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
He said, I love you till I die. She told him you forget time. I watched the years pass slowly by, and she still preyed upon his mind. He kept her pictures on his wall, went half crazy now and then. He still loved her through it all, kept hoping she'd come back again. He stopped loving her today. They placed a reef upon his door. Soon they'll carry him away. But he stopped loving her today.
That is the good stuff. A lot of chills with that crew sitting around right there. As Lionel says, y'all sad around there in the studio? Just a little sad, but the good sad, right? You got to lean into sad sometimes, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's actually the perfect lead-in to Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right,
Okay,
Taylor.
so-
Who died today?
Nobody. This is a follow-up to Kyrie Jackson, who was killed in the car accident a couple weeks ago. But look, shout out to the Minnesota Vikings. Listen to what they've done. They are planning a private funeral service for his family and the team. They're paying $20,000 for his own personal funeral. They're going to pay his $827,000 signing bonus to his family.
That's nice.
They've put on the NFL Players Association, you could provide financial assistance to the family, kind of like a GoFundMe style page. They're applying honorary, number, his number 31 to the practice field. They're giving helmet decals, pins to the staff members. Anything they can do to honor him, they are doing it. They've gone above and beyond on this. So shout out to the Minnesota Vikings. It's a sad situation that they've kind of made the best of. They're helping out that family in a big way.
I'm going to give you a slight pass today, because you managed to put a positive element into a horrific story. But again, just for the future, dude. Like, there's Jordan Love becoming the highest paid quarterback. Like, they don't have to be so dour.
We talked about that today.
You could have brought it up again. We talked about it 3 hours ago.
Okay. Tell me honestly, when's the last time it's been sad before today? When's the last time?
When the story that you just updated like 2 days ago. Like, I don't know.
Can I give you we were talking about just the MLB story of the day?
Yes, give me the MLB story of the day.
Okay, so we were just talking about this in the break. Kansas City Royals Bobby Witt Jr. was a single away from hitting for the cycle yesterday. And their pitcher, I forget his name.
It was a Castellanos.
Oh, okay.
Not Nick.
Not
but
Nick.
Yes.
Yeah. So he just plunks him first pitch.
I mean, bruh.
When he goes up there to hit for the cycle.
That's the most dashboard energy I've ever seen from a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Let this kid hit for the cycle. You're losing 10-3, nerds.
Everybody started booing him. Salvi was pissed in the dugout.
It's garbage.
Which I saw on his jersey, he had a C. Are we going to start putting positions on
or is it
jerseys
captain?
now?
It's
he's the captain. That's true. That is true. He is the captain.
Although I do love the idea of 1B.
Yeah.
What's up?
While you're standing at first base.
Shout out Andres Galarraga.
I think it depends. Is this a call from the coaching staff to throw it at him? I don't like it, but if you're the pitcher and you're throwing it at him, look, I don't want a guy hitting the cycle against me either, whatever.
Bilbo says I'm going to...
I don't want a guy hitting the cycle against me. I'm throwing the ball at him, too. Shout out Castellanos.
That's why you're Ohio, Taylor.
That's why you're Ohio.
What did Bilbo said he's going to slap me for my pronunciation. Castellanos? No, Castellanos?
I say Castellanos, right?
Castellanos.
Castellanos.
Oh, because it's 2 L's.
Yeah,
The
double
fair.
L
My
makes
bad.
the Y sound.
Yeah, that's on me. I used to say Madejo.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Not realizing that. No, single L's. Medella. Yeah. You learn that. You live and you learn. See?
Sorry, Bilbo.
Maybe you done learned something there.
You don't really say my last name, Villarreal. You say it
Villarreal.
Villarreal.
Oh, Villarreal. Well, why am I saying Villarreal?
You can say Villarreal. That's just the easier way for everybody to say it. That's why I say it.
Yeah, but I like trying to pronounce things kind of with not fully put it on an accent, but technically pronouncing it correctly.
How do you
Villarreal.
properly say it?
Villarreal.
Yeah.
Not you.
Alondra Villarreal.
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 Yeah.
You gotta click that R, Bo.
Yeah.
You ain't ready for that.
No, I'm not. I'm a redneck.
It's definitely not Alondra either.
Yeah, redneck. Alondra. Alondra?
Oh,
Alondra
wait.
Villarreal.
It's not Alondra?
I mean, it is
Alondra
Alondra.
Villarreal.
Yeah.
Alondra Villarreal.
I can only hear T-Bob just continue to try to roll his R's over there. That's all I can hear.
Castellanos. Okay, you're right. My bad, y'all. Never again. We can't.
I can get
just
Bobby
can't make
Witt.
the same mistake twice.
I'll stick with Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bobby
fine.
Witt.
Yeah, sure.
I pronounced
Bobby
that
Witt
one
Jr.
Right. Play Bob.
All right, when we get back, ask the bench, and I think there's a very interesting question for Bailey in here about the texting of older people. So I look forward to hearing her answer. Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Yes, Brian Laplace. I can roll my R's. Get out of here, dude. You got to wake up earlier in the day. You know who wakes up early? Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. And you're going to see the difference clearly when you work with Tommy's. In fact, I am so confident in the product. I'm so confident in the service, I should say even more so, that all we're asking you here at Tommy's is to make them one of the 3 bids on your project. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows. You need any type of doors. You want to reinvest in your home, your greatest asset. You want to figure out why all 7 years it's been in existence, Tommy's is taking home the Angie Service Award. Again, just make them one of the bids. Because once you work with Tommy's, not to be cheesy, but you're going to see the difference clearly. So you can head over to gotommys.com, GEAUX Tommys.com. And again, invest in your asset. Take your home to the next level with Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Érase una vez un Infinity, diseñado para despertar tu imaginación y desafiarte a soñar, con 3 lujosas filas de asientos. El totalmente nuevo Infinity QX80 de 3 filas.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The Saints report for training camp out in Irvine, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting recap. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Life, Vizzy Art Seltzer, Blue Moon Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. William Anthony says, question for Bailey, intern Bailey. What do older people do in text that is annoying, like thumbs up or ellipses? Is there anything that do we over punctuate? What do you think?
Well, I don't use punctuation a lot.
Neither do I, to be fair.
Like, I don't think it's more of what they send me. I think it's just like how long it takes them.
That is true.
Stuff.
Speed, not exactly. You get watching my dad send a text is akin to watching like a Japanese master do calligraphy. In the amount of time that it takes. None of the artisanship, but just the amount of time that it takes him to put together a sentence.
Does he do like the one finger?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Very slowly, very punctuated perfectly. How do we feel about GIFs, Bailey?
I haven't seen as much lately.
Because outside looking in, it's felt like it's been old for a while now, actually, to be fair. I still enjoy them. For whatever that's worth, but it feels like it. I don't know. It doesn't.
I feel like emojis are in the same kind of situation as well, T.
Are emojis dead?
Well, I get sent a lot of emojis.
I could teach you old emojis, like before we had emojis. Like I have a couple keyboard shortcuts. Like you ever seen the little shrugging?
Face?
Yeah, like the little shrugging smiley face that's just made from the keyboard. I could teach you a thing or two, Bailey. Stick with me. Maybe you'll be the cool one bringing back old school emojis. Just give me an old school. What about an XD? X capital D. Just a really happy face, okay? Freaking used to love an XD. Hashtag Ask the Bench. If you're on Deal or No Deal, and you're down to the final briefcase, do you swap or no?
How much money, like
yeah,
what's
like how
already
much do
been
I
taken
have?
away? Yeah. mean, it depends.
No, let's
It
say
does
there's like
depend.
the best one still out and the worst
$1 million
one still
and
out.
$1.
Yeah. I think you got to keep.
I'm
At
gonna
that
keep
point,
it,
I'm
then,
keeping
yeah.
my
you're
I'm gonna
keeping,
keep
dude.
it.
Your choices have led you this far. Let's just keep it. Let
The
it
settlement would probably be about $500,000.
I'm
right?
probably taking the deal from the banker, for being honest. If it was
Yeah.
that, I would not open the case. I'm not like, I would rather the idea of walking home with $1 sounds so much worse than
Right.
guaranteeing $500K.
Because you're like, oh, I lost $1 million, but you got $500K.
Yeah, screw that,
I'm
dude.
taking the deal for sure.
Come here, banker.
Meghan
You got
Markle
it,
was
Mr.
one.
Potter. What?
Meghan Markle
I know.
went from like deal or no deal to being a princess.
Hell yeah, dude. Hashtag ask the bench. What is the greatest Ernest movie? Scared Stupid is my vote.
Oh.
I haven't seen
Goes to
Ernest
jail.
movies in
Ernest
years.
Goes to jail.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I can only go like based on my childhood memories, and Ernest Goes to Jail is the one that most stands out in my memories as well.
Yeah.
Although Ernest Saves Christmas was close as well.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Um,
We're the only ones that are going to know what we're
Yeah, I
talking
haven't
about
seen
here.
any of these. Oh,
no
Bailey's
way,
seen 'em.
Bailey, you've
Oh.
seen Ernest movies?
I
What?
have.
What?
I remember the camp one.
Yeah, Ernest Goes to Camp is great.
Ernest
I
Goes to
remember
Camp.
that
yeah.
one. I remember the school one.
I don't even remember the school.
It was
one.
probably
How
Ernest
about
Goes to
that?
School.
I had like a 3-movie disc. So there was like.
Oh yeah,
3
like a little Ernest triple feature.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think it was like Halloween, camp, and school.
God,
movie.
I love a good bargain bin DVD combo where you just throw them all in there into one plastic box and you get them out at Walmart for like $5 back in the day. The best. All right, we love you, and we'll see you tomorrow for some new OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to rejuvenamemedical.com, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Yeah, look, okay. William Anthony says you've accumulated 3 cool points now, Bailey. You keep it up, you can spend those at the cool store or at Rejuve Me Medical, where actually you're probably a little too young for this, but as you get older, you'll realize that, you know, the untreated effects of aging can be awful. Mood and memory problems, just a lack of energy, confidence, insomnia, lack of mental clarity. It sucks, right? But the thing is, it's all treatable. I don't give a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, male, female. You go and Rejuve Me, you get that free consultation where they draw your labs and they customize a plan for you. Maybe it's semaglutide, maybe not, maybe it's HRT, maybe not. The point is they will put a plan together to get you to your highest potential. Be your best self. Restore yourself. Refuel yourself. Rejuvenate yourself with RejuveMeMedical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins.